3, 2, 1, go.
Greetings and welcome once again to Roman of the Empire. I am your host, Roman. Tonight we are talking about the second installment in the criminally underrated series of Riddick, the Chronicles of Riddick. Film in 2004, set 5 years after the events of the first film, Pitch Black. So I enjoyed this film a great deal. But we'll go through the who's and whys of all this as we get into our discussion. So let's go around the horn, do our introductions, and then jump right into this one. There's a lot to talk about in this movie. There are a lot of layers in this film. With me, as always, he is my partner on this channel. He is my wingman. He once stopped me from carpet bombing the planet Crematoria because would anyone even notice? He is Shieldwall of Dragons. Welcome back, my friend. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Yeah, excited to get into this movie. Saw it in a theater overseas, but so it had been out a while, but I'd heard about it. I really enjoyed it when I saw it. It was a lot in the first movie, Pitch Black. Takes place in the same universe, but the first movie really didn't expand that much on the universe. It was basically on the planet with the Reaper creatures and stuff, and that was about it. So this really, they busted it wide open and went in any direction they wanted with it. They sure did, because it's kind of a weird movie in a lot of ways.
It is.
But it's really cool. I got a lot of like other types of science fiction kind of like they got, the vibes from it for when they, they took, a little bit from a couple of different genres to build this world. I thought it was pretty cool. So, yeah, excited to get into it.
Right on, right on. He is the scourge of Gotham, the nemesis of the Dark Knight. He is Joker Voice. Welcome back, Joker. How are you, my friend? How are things in Arkham?
Well, I'm out right now. I'm on a work release program. That's why I'm here. But we go back Saturday because it's taco night. And I actually really like this film. As much as V for De Vendetta and 1984 show you what happens when government gets out of control. This shows you what happens when religion gets out of control.
Truth. And there are a lot of as Shieldwall alluded to, there are like for me you get a lot of 40K vibes from the Necromongers, at least.
Oh yeah.
With the Emperor and the massive army.
Which, by the way, Lady Vago, I'm sure that there was a lot of this going on on the mother's
yeah. It never gets better, folks. Never.
And breadsticks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A ton of that.
Ton of that.
That's all I was thinking about during the entire movie. I was like,
I hate all of you. His beard has broken out of more max security slams than anyone in history. He is Beard of Liberty. Welcome back, Beard. How are you, my friend?
So hot.
And so muted.
And muted. And muted.
Much
and
muted.
Much
Very muted.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, just for you and Squeaky Joker. That's why I do the beard.
Stop! God damn.
Always happy to be here. This is one of those movies that's just it's dumb, it's over the top, and I love every moment of it. I actually saw this before I saw Pitch Black. I'd never seen Pitch Black back in the day when I saw this.
Okay.
I've actually seen this multiple times previously. So this is one of the few movies that we do here that I've actually seen before. So I'm looking forward to getting into it.
Wow.
And also, this is a cast of who's who showed up as random characters on various sci-fi channel movies. So you will recognize people from Battlestar Galactica, Stargate, everything in here. Continuum. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yep.
Right on, right on. He moves with mystery, they say. He comes and goes as he will. He is our favorite wizard of the interwebs. He is Bloody Blood, making his triumphant return to the show. How are you, my friend?
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Pitch Black is one of the greatest sci-fi movies, and this is such a deviation from that in all ways. But I like it. It's so weird.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, it's funny though, Beard. I think because you could watch Pitch Black, or you could watch this without having seen Pitch Black, and you're going to do it, and you're like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, it's one of those kind
There-
of movies where you just go with it and you're like, this is entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. And much
Also,
like even if you'd seen Pitch Black, to like the rest of the audience, you're watching going, I don't entirely know what's happening, but I'm having a pretty good ride.
I have to call you out, Roman, real quick for like having a senior moment calling Blair Beard.
Oh, did I just do that?
I can see why.
Oh.
Hold on. What the?
I'm sorry. I apologize. Look,
Wow.
You didn't
Oh my
even know I was
God.
on the
It's
show.
the same person.
Hey, yeah, get that office meme out with what's her name. It's like it's the same picture.
HR says it's the same picture.
It's the
Oh,
same
God.
picture.
He got me confused with Dempsey. So
That's true. I did. I sent Dempsey the link. I thought, but I filled all the data in for Blair, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. clearly, it's just over.
or you have a problem with bearded people. Bigot. Okay.
It's true. You all look the same to me.
Thanks.
The hell has Dempsey been? I haven't seen him on anything. Lately.
No, he's actually got some shit going on tonight because he actually was supposed to be here, but some shit was going down. He's like, hey, dude, I got to drop out. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
I miss that dude.
He is the meme master of the interwebs, using his power for good instead of evil. Sometimes he is Jacob Ironside. Welcome back, Jacob. How are you, my friend? And how are the raccoons?
Hey, I'm doing as well as can be. And if I'm a bit tonight, some things happen in real life that make me saucy. So be aware of that. And Joker, you should see what I'm doing with my beard right now.
I don't want
Use
to
your
know.
imagination.
I don't want to know. God damn it.
He's got multiple raccoons with brushes brushing his
That's amazing.
Grooming them with
hands.
his little paws.
Yeah, with the little paws.
princess.
They're feeding him great.
And I was loving the Warhammer bolt guns in this. Big
Oh,
old
for sure.
hand cannons. Loved it.
And I'm just going to say that based on how Jacob torments Roman here, powers for good? No. Jacob's evil.
Yeah, I know.
It depends on how you look at
He's chaotic
Depends on the
good.
night.
It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
chaotic good. I like that.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm mischievous, you know.
Yes, that's the word we're using tonight, Jacob. He is the man who knows all the things about all the things. He is the Thad that shouldn't be the unbearable 73, Commander Mato. Welcome back, my friend. Good to see you. How are you this evening, dude?
Doing okay, still trying to rebuild my health and life and all that sort of stuff that, you have to do when you go through crap. And, watching enjoyable Pitch Black movies or Riddick movies, or you want to call it, the Riddick verse, to take my mind away.
Right on. Well, they're certainly
And
giving you a lot of stuff to...
You're all wondering, the animated film takes place between Pitch Black and this movie.
Yeah, Dark Fury.
When's that coming out?
It's been out.
Yeah, it came out. Oh, yeah, I mean, a minute ago. Actually, I have that one. We're not going to cover that in this series, and we'll get into later
Was
on
it
about
the video game too? Butcher Bay.
That's Butcher Bay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
right.
Yeah,
a
and-
prequel, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yes, and they mentioned some and we'll get into it later. I was gonna say
Protein
I'm gonna
waffles are
hold
great.
back on comments, but yeah, it is a prequel, and you'll hear me say "but" a lot during this thing tonight. Ducka, prostitute, musician, pop culture aficionado, YouTube prostitute, man of the people. He is Sammy Threepeat. Welcome back, Sammy. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Yeah. Like I said, I was. This movie does very much depart from Pitch Black, but that doesn't mean that I hated it. The only thing that I was refusing to believe is that Vin Diesel, who's been bald since like 1993, was
Grow dreads.
like had full on like dreadlocks in the beginning of this film.
That was mildly hilarious. Yes.
But no, it was good, and like I said, Carl Urban never looked so beautiful. He is a
gorgeous man. He is a gorgeous man.
I've seen him in
Let's
real
say
life.
hi to our friends out there. It looks like we got a lot of people watching on X tonight. We got some people watching on YouTube. So for our friends on X, hello. You can comment as well. You have the ability. So if you'd like to, please do. And we've got our good friend, the eclectic Goat out there. Hello, Goat. Good evening. And I think you're right, and I think it's because it was such a departure. So I mean, it kind of was what it was. Tomby, our friend from across the pond. Good evening, sir, and welcome.
And your son's in the chat.
My alt universe son. Where did he come in? Up here. Oh, howdy all, and glad to see the power back on. My good friend John, the creative blue collar guy. Hello, sir. And
You're a
welcome.
designated driver.
No, that's Tom. That's
Well, Tom's
who
in the
will
chat.
also probably be popping in. Oh, there he is. My good friend Tom from Tom's
Hey,
Tinkering
Tom.
and Adventures. Good evening, sir.
Tom?
Love us some Tom. Remember, if you haven't, please subscribe to Tom's channel. If you adventure, I can't speak anymore. I'm so flustered. If you need to learn how to fix something, or you want to follow him on one of his desert or other adventures, it's a fantastic channel. So yes, actually, Shieldwall, this thing is on. You can comment on X. So if you're watching over on X, it looks like a lot of people are. Please, like I said, drop a comment.
Love it.
Love it. Oh my gosh. It's love it. Hello. Welcome back.
Hey, Love
Good
It.
to see you out there.
I like Love It.
And everyone.
And
That's
I
everyone.
think
loves Love It.
we all also need to take just a brief moment to wish
Shoot
a
up!
happy belated birthday to Mrs. of the Empire.
Ginger.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. She may be
Yes,
watching
happy
right
birthday,
now.
Mrs.
So
of
honey,
the Empire.
Happy late birthday.
She is young and sprightly, and every night I wake up with a pillow over my face, and I ask, "What are you doing, honey?" And she's like, "Nothing. Just close your eyes and go back to sleep." And that's why we love her. That's
You were
why we love
snoring.
her.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Marge.
Hello, sir. Our good friend, the Jinja Ninja, working and lurking. He is a busy man. Good to see you out there, James. And I think that's about it for now. And we will jump back into comments as we go through the show. I see someone creeping lower in my lower screen. I believe she may have been detained by the authorities. I never know why she's late. I never know.
Again?
No, unless you consider a dog an authority that kept me away.
Just blame the beagle. Blaming
Because-
the beagle again.
Hey, Zax, our good friend, how are you, my friend? And happy birthday to the missus. Yes. I'm sorry, Roman's so Italian. Yeah, that's true. She is a Mick. She is a Mick. She's a redheaded Mick woman. And Frank Yately, welcome. Always good to have you out there, sir.
Woo.
Always good. So let's dive into this because we do have a lot to break down in this movie.
Mando does
Jacob, do you want to do your memes now? Or you want to do them when we jump in?
Whoa. Does Mando
Yeah,
get
go
an
ahead. Go ahead. Do it.
intro or not?
Oh, are you mad because I didn't do her intro?
Yeah,
Give the lady
Books,
her
games,
intro.
or movies. She is armored up and ready to fight. She is Untamed Mando, who's very late because of a dog. Okay. Welcome.
There we go. There it is.
I still hate you all. So let's dive into this. Oh, Jacob, did you want to do your memes now, or do you want to say them?
Yeah, go ahead and do the memes.
Are they here?
Memes.
Or your memes?
Yes.
Here we go.
Meme it up.
All right, so we're gonna start off here with Jacob's memes, and they are always unflattering, mostly to me. So. Oh my God. I've never looked better, quite honestly. That's pretty solid.
That's Roman from his Navy days, you know.
That is,
I'm
good.
not looking at
I
Roman.
just
I'm
figure,
just,
he's a wizard. I mean, she's
Poor Blair.
Blair, you look
It's
amazing.
looking pretty hot.
you
now,
filled
I'm
that
not
dress
gonna
out very nicely, Blair.
lie.
Yes,
Built for that hair. Yes.
I would say you aged with grace, sir. Like you are a treasure.
I have a
Dame
question
Blair.
though. Where's the
Yes,
beard?
treasure.
But to say Damon, but I would rather just say damn.
Yeah, Blair always remains. Steve Matt here.
Boosh.
Matt, you two look
Blair
lovely.
remains.
Boosh! Welcome.
Should wear that to Vegas.
Nice.
Rocket, Blair.
Oh, it's so good.
Wow, man. Oh dear God, that's wrong. That's wrong, dude.
Like,
I like
you
it.
look so frumpy, Joker.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
That one looks
Oh.
good.
dude, that should be your profile picture.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that head. I'm like, yeah, that's not too many years. Like now, in fact, that's
Wow. Wow.
It's just
Looks like my
there's so much going on there.
science teacher.
There is so much
Oh.
going on there.
It's amazing. It's glorious. It's wonderful, and
It's stunning
I
and
will-
brave.
it is
Stunning and
stunning and brave.
I
Very
love you.
demure, very mindful.
It is. Is that Apophis? It's Apophis, isn't it?
yes,
It is.
It is.
Oh, it
Is it?
is. See, I told you
Yes.
this is a
Yeah.
who's who of people who've been on other sci-fi channel
Who's
shows.
who's the other guy? He's been in something too, right?
They've all been.
Oh,
in these
Oh, they've all
I forget
been.
what his name
Oh, yeah.
was.
I'm looking it up to
That's
see if
weird.
that was in fact Apophis.
It's space
I look
swap
good
beard.
with hair.
Come on.
I wish I
It
still
looks
had
like
hair.
him.
Yeah, you,
Actor is Peter Williams.
See, with beard so short, it can.
That is him. Yeah.
Yes.
No, no.
Oh my God. The expression.
Squeaker!
Oh my God.
There you go. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
That's how
Oh, yeah.
Roman sees himself. Nobody
Yes.
else sees him that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, that's me and my Master Chief days.
yeah.
Yeah, this is you, and you forgot to put a period at the end of your report.
Wow, dude, that is
That's a
cringe,
ridiculous.
dude.
I need
Dude, that is
that.
cringy, dude.
Oh.
You know what,
So you
Roman?
take the fancy hat off.
Roman, your face goes well on pretty much anything that's grumpy.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
That's what I
translates
was
well.
born for. Yes, I was made for this. Which one of us is that?
No.
That's John.
That's John. Yeah.
That's your son. That's your son.
Oh my God.
You don't know your own
Why
voice.
does that work so well? Yeah.
It blends so well with the actual actor. You know.
Right.
It does.
Lord John.
That That's very,
That's
Wow.
Dig it.
I mean, I like the chin. I like the chin.
You know,
Oh, that's grand.
the
Joker in
only
back.
problem I
Yes,
have,
and we got
the
Mando.
only, the
Oh,
only problem I have is that Sammy Toombs is not lounged back in a chair.
Right,
Sammy
exactly.
And he's away.
Because Toombs is a little
Yeah.
high strung, very
Yeah,
unlike
you know.
Sammy.
Although
I really
Yes,
liked
you
her
don't be
neck.
very high strung.
I'll
both
be honest,
Mando
like her
and
neck
Joker,
there, I was like,
see-
huh.
y'all both seem to be very unimpressed.
I am.
I mean,
I look
yeah, of
gorgeous.
course.
I mean, come on
I'm
now.
never impressed.
Oh, that's
This is-
I
fantastic.
actually
Smart.
make that face a lot, and my husband's always like, "Are you mad?" I'm like, "No, I'm just watching something. I'm not."
This looks like my wife is telling me how to drive.
No, and that was a great slideshow. Jacob, thank you for making that. That's
You're
glorious.
I appreciate it.
I look forward to that every single week. And again,
Making me look
hello
like
to
a
everybody
space
watching
scallywag.
on Twitter and YouTube. Nice to have you all with us. Please do
I know.
like and comment. You can comment from Twitter too. We will share your comments. Say something clever or insulting. Anything works over here. So let's actually dive into the show now, because we do have a timeline we need to keep.
I mean,
And-
there's a lot of movie here, but if we're honest, there's
Oh.
actually not a ton of story. This feels more
Right.
like it's like they set up a universe more than they told a story.
Yes.
But I don't.
Mhm.
I know that's actually a flaw, but I
Run
don't
through it.
hate it. It just works.
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
it doesn't feel
Yeah.
Snydery.
Yeah.
Even though they
So-
focus so much on the world building.
The story is in
I
the
love all the
extended version. The setting is in
motif
this
here.
movie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shieldwall. I appreciate that.
And also just all of
Yeah,
the
the-
style
all the-
and
all the
everything that's
faces.
designed is amazing.
Right.
No,
Yeah, all the
look
faces
of
and the
this movie
architecture
is
Whitey.
Is
spectacular.
so Warhammer.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the vibe. That's the vibe I took as well.
Well-
Not at the time. Now, yes, but at the time, I didn't know anything
This
about
Vin
Warhammer
this
at all.
Diesel-
world. Yeah. Oh, go
Vin
ahead.
Diesel invented the setting, so to speak, and he's a big fantasy and sci-fi gamer.
Yeah,
plays
right.
Warhammer,
He
plays
plays a lot of
D&D.
D&D.
Yeah, actually, funny note on that. So he, Lady Vaco, Dame Judi Dench, and who else was it? One of the other cast members. Between takes, they were playing D&D.
Yeah.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Hilarious! I thought that was great. I love this
The-
shift.
oh, this
You
shot
think
here.
this is a
Yeah.
statue?
Yeah.
But it's the Lord Marshal.
The first
Great
time I saw that, I was
I
like,
thought it was
whoa,
blown.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Looked
But
like
it has
Stallone
like
to me.
that like really weird kind of art inside
Yes.
the ship and
Very almost Geigerish.
right.
Yeah.
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 It's
Also,
like
it's
it's
like
like
a big coffin.
it's like if you took Geiger and like Art Deco and crossed them.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right,
I
yeah,
didn't
it has a lot
see
of those
the art.
influences in it.
Now this is also, if they won't convert you, they will kill you. And I'm like, oh, so kind of like the Catholic Church back in the day.
Ha ha ha
So
Stop
ha.
I mean,
The
telling
speaking of
lies.
Crusades did not go far enough.
Okay,
So,
without getting into
so-
it, that is a bit of a historical myth that was really only during when the Inquisition was around that happened.
Right.
And the Inquisition served a purpose as well. That we were rooting out those nasty invaders.
Yeah, there's witches. You know?
The beginning of this movie. Oh, Jason, our good friend Jason Sandberg, creator of the Jupiter comic. If you haven't bought it, do it now. It's fantastic. Good to see you out there, buddy. So the entire opening of this movie, you're getting Judi Dench's Arion. She's part of the
Elementals.
race.
Elemental.
She's giving you the whole kind of background on the necromongers. The Lord Marshal went to the Underverse, came back as something else. And you get the alluded to that he's kind of half dead. It's a strange business that I never fully understood. And this is them just detonating a planet.
Big bada boom.
Which I mean, those spires would cause damage to start with, and then just this almost like it's almost like a singularity bomb. That they
Yeah,
detonate.
it's
Yeah.
an interesting critter.
It's also nice that they established the threat of the necromongers like right away.
right.
Like you're not wondering what
Yeah.
they're going to do or later in the
Oh.
film. You know what the
Hello,
stakes are.
Whitey. Our good friend Whitey is out
Whitey.
there. What is going on, sir?
Hey, Whitey.
It kind of never gave a reason why they were destroying these planets, though. Like, what is the?
Well, you will go to the underverse the living way with the ships or the dead way if you're being killed.
Right, but I mean, so I
Well,
guess
it's almost like a organism. They like go through to planet and
Yeah,
harvest
well-
and
But I guess
destroy.
Convert or die.
is the end game to convert everybody and then take
Yes.
them to the underverse.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
so
much.
it doesn't matter if you destroy planets; you're not going to need food and.
Well, okay. So the theory behind it is if you choose to go to the underverse, you're like a leader. If you get blown up and killed to go there, you're like just a minion. You know.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
What they
But I mean,
reminded
that's
me also.
the reason why they're not afraid to blow up a whole planet, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can take a planet.
Well,
over.
you're looking at asset or resource management
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
from a practical standpoint.
Now, in 40K, the reason you would destroy a whole planet is because it had demons on it or aliens or something.
Or you're just a dick. You know.
And
Well,
a Hitchhiker's
Right.
Guide, you do it because you had to pave a
Sorry about your dinner,
highway.
goat.
Right, but I mean, yeah, that's what I'm
Those darn
saying.
Vogons.
I couldn't
Oh,
figure out
yeah.
what the logical reason for destroying it. It's cool that they did it and that makes them really scary.
Well, it looks good. It's very menacing.
Yeah,
Well,
I just
Well,
thought they were
it's
dicks.
built into
I
their
got-
fanatic religion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I got
They
they were
remind me
like
of-
purifying the planet by
Well,
getting rid
yeah,
of
that's-
unbelievers.
yep. It's like a cross between 40K and the Borg from Star Trek. Is the way I
Yeah, that's a good call.
They got kind of a Borg feel. They're not
Yes.
all robot-y, but it's an assimilation. That's how they gain people. Is they assimilate them. That's how you get more necromongers. They aren't making baby
like
necromongers.
Mormons.
They assimilate people.
Oh,
That's how
yeah.
you get more.
We hear that later whenever he says, "Let's go replenish the troops." Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What I so and then you jump right into the Riddick part. And this planet, what is it called? It's a silly name or a number. But it's got what is
I
it?
like that shot.
UVS System Planet 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it the thumbnail or the thumbprint. This
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
weird ass stuff. I do love the planet designs through all the movies. They look so cool. And they're all so unique and just weird. And I'm there for it. And he's getting chased by these dudes. This is
Yep. The only part that
The-
I had to that I couldn't suspend my disbelief on was just seeing Vin Diesel with hair like that. I was like, this is
yeah, it's a little unnerving.
I mean,
Tubes
they were
is
going-
played by Go ahead.
I was gonna say they were going for some like weird reveal, like, oh, this guy that had no hair has all this hair, but he's
No,
on
that's-
the
it's
face of
kinda
the
silly.
movie. You
Yep.
can't get
Oh,
away
shit.
with that.
yeah.
Our good friend Lance Nielsen
Hey,
from
Lance.
Outcast Creatives,
Yay.
also
Yes.
from across the pond. Yes. So yeah, Lance is
Wow.
sharing some inside baseball here. Diesel wanted her in the movie like desperately.
Yes.
So he was sending flowers to her dressing room, and he let her know that we couldn't begin casting the movie until she accepted the role. Also, she had no idea what was going on through most of the movie while she was filming. She's like, it was just fun. I had a good time doing it. But she really didn't have, just much like the audience in a lot of places, she really didn't know what was actually going down. Nick Chinlin, which is an unfortunate name. If you're an X-Files fan, you
Yeah.
may remember him as
Yeah.
Donnie
Yes.
Faster,
Yep.
who is arguably one of the most unnerving characters in the X-Files. He was a demonic serial killer who he grabs Scully in one of the episodes. Well, it's a 2-part episode. And the unfortunate thing is I had a real hard time getting rid of that when I saw him again. I'm like, oh my God, it's Donnie.
He was
But he does a
on air,
fantastic
too.
job with this role. He loved the role so much he started writing. It was called the Merc Cookbook, which is just kind of funny. I feel that his team does not last long either.
And he's one of the serial killers in Con Air.
Oh,
Yeah.
is he? I didn't know he was in Con Air too. There were
Yes.
so many people on Con Air. I got them all mixed up.
He's the guy that says, "Put the bunny down," too.
We
Oh,
may need to do Con Air. I love Con Air. It's just so many fun parts in that movie. Now those movies are also terrible, but they're a lot of fun. But we can discuss that after, as the kids say. This is, speaking of unnerving. There is Riddick. Fur
gives him a look like, come on in. Come on.
Yeah, and like I said,
I love how ridiculous this ship. Look, I love all the designs, but I love how ridiculous over the top they are. Like the two dudes hanging outside with guns.
Yeah, why? Why would you do this?
Look, I know it's dumb. I don't care. I love it.
But even so, you got to say to yourself, this guy Riddick has probably killed by now like tens of thousands of people who've gone after him. Like, why would in your right mind go after Riddick? Like that's the one thing about this movie that I was like,
why? 1.5 million. Money makes some people do some dumb things.
Yeah, I could tell you firsthand. Like if we pull up on this guy in a spaceship and he just turns around and just pulls out two blades and holds them in the air, I'd be like, I don't know about this shit.
Imagine Tunes was like, okay, crew, we're going after this guy. His name is Rob T. Jones. He only killed one guy. Oh, great, yeah. And then, that's the only way.
Dude, you lied to us. That's Riddick. Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, Mr. Riddick, do you want the ship? And shoot Toombs and give him the ship. You know?
First off,
so
a three-man crew. A three-man crew.
That's fucking insulting.
First,
is great. He looks like a big Viking here as well, which he's not. But he looks that way.
It's a good look.
First mistake, you took the job.
Second mistake.
Empty gun rack.
Whose ship is this? And you better
okay. I think I said it in the back room. This whole movie is basically like if like a middle school boy came up with his own story, and it's so awesome. I don't care. It's over the top. Everything Riddick does, he does being a badass, and he's super confident. It's just so good.
Yeah, these movies aren't there to like go full like the lore is there to intrigue you and be fun. It's not there to be like, not that you couldn't do something in depth on side novels or whatever, but like it's there to sort of make you enjoy it more. And if you do want to go deep into it with some sort of side project, that's fine. But it's not there for that,
Yeah.
Yes, Vin Diesel also voiced the Iron Giant. So now he's getting ready to go back into cryo sleep.
All the light, civilization,
and this is
everything
another,
I hate.
It's another thing that they just put out there. They don't like give you a definition and explain what cryosleep is. It's just you see him put his arm in a thing, his blood gets replaced, and he goes to sleep, and it lets you figure it out as an intelligent movie watcher.
Right. Yeah, it's like some kind of advanced dialysis machine or something.
Yeah. But they don't spend 5 minutes explaining what everything is. I mean,
it's one of those things.
Yeah, and you jump around a bit here. So he's going back to Helium Prime though, because that does require explanation. Because the bounty came from Helium Prime,
right? And then, then he explains a holy man and a girl dressed up as a boy named Jack.
Mm-hmm. And that's the planet where he left the Imam.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and even not having seen Pitch Black, there's enough explanation here. The story works. You could watch this, never having seen the first movie, and it still works. Like I did when I first watched it. I mean,
so they're wheeling an unknown person into the Hellhound bins. And they leave her there. She's kicking. She's scratching.
The design for those cat things are
cat dog
cool. Yeah, cat dog, whatever it is.
And so this is kind of interesting. You just get a flash here near his habitable planet, and it flashes briefly to Furia and then goes back to Helium Prime, which is a little bit weird. And this is where the longer version of the film is better. we get this strange what the fuck moment where
Hottie.
yeah, is this supposed to be his mom, or who is this woman supposed to be?
Like the
His
spirit
mom.
of
I don't know. I just know her from
I don't know, but I'm into it.
Andromeda.
And-
It's his
oh
mom.
wait, do we lose? It's his mom.
Am I muted? Was I muted?
No, you're good.
Yeah,
Nope,
you're
we
muted.
hear you.
I hear you
That's-
now.
That's his mom.
Okay.
Okay. And she's look at the graves of all those, and then she's about to leave this is some weird LSD shit again. She's about to leave a mark on him when he comes out of
Cryo.
Yeah, he like gets woken up, and he's in their
That's
airspace,
right.
and they're like pissed off about it.
Get
The cloud
down.
cars come flying.
We're
up.
going
You're
to
like,
this
"Hey,
landing
land."
platform.
And
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Where'd he go?
Yeah, I did like that. Fuck you, I'm Riddick kind of
Yeah.
moment there. I was like, oh, all right, that was sweet.
Keith David.
Oh,
Yeah.
anytime he
David.
is on screen or in audio, that man just
The voice of
captivates
Spawn.
everybody.
The voice of Spawn.
and from, of course, from The Thing, which is one of my all-time
Childs.
favorite movies.
And-
Our man Lance
and-
had to go. It looks like our
Gargoyles,
man
too.
Lance had to go.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Goliath.
Mhm.
I also really like this
So-
guy in that last season of Community because you don't think he could. You see him in serious stuff. He can actually play comedy really well.
Oh yeah, he's the president in Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Yep.
And now,
and he's walking.
Actually, he was in a funny as hell movie called Men at Work. Right there.
Yeah, with
Oh, yeah, great movie.
and Emilio Estevez as the
Yeah.
right. I think of the
He
right
was
thing,
the
right?
he was their supervisor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was funny as hell.
now he is hearing folks talking
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah, we don't know. We know who them is, and you make an assumption that as to who them is, and they're coming. And there's a whole bunch of all kinds of crazy talk about what they do. So this is about his house. They had made it. They built it so it was only 4 rooms, but the walls were movable, so it made it look like there was more house. Kind of interesting. And here we go.
Oh,
I
wouldn't
left
you
for
like to
one.
walk
I
in
left-
and see dirty dreads
left-
all over the floor?
Yeah.
I kept a secret with one man left on the planet.
Sex.
I love he walks in, he's like giving this like intimidating monologue and everything, and then he just ends with your wife's in the shower.
Yeah.
This is a
So
nice.
he's the one who put the
callback, though.
bounty
It's nice
on him.
tying in.
Right.
It's nice tying the stories together here.
And he put the bounty on him because he wanted him to come. I mean, he knew that's what the end result is
Crazy.
going to be because they weren't going to catch him.
Well, okay. Well, it's also because during Pitch Black, when he told them about when he was born and having the cord wrapped around his throat, and now they had heard about the necromongers, and especially this leader strangling infant boys out of the womb with their cord. So this is what prompted him to go to seek him out.
And here we get, I forget what her name is.
Issa.
Ziza. Yeah, he's like, are you the one who, are you gonna, is he the one who killed the monsters? Or are you going to stop the monsters this time or something to that
I am
extent?
the monster.
Yeah,
She's like, get the hell
she's
to
the sister to Aziz Light.
And by the way, like they show you that like you think that Riddick's gonna save not he would have if he could have, but like he saved the kid and the woman and all that. This is a no punches pulled movie. So
And he does deliver the cute kid line again. Cute kid. And he's like, how am I supposed to get the bounty off my head? Oh, and then everybody outside's freaking out. They say that the comet always precedes them, which is kind of interesting when we get up there.
Yeah, because they're following.
Yeah.
But that plays
And
into a lot of historical and fantasy mythology, where the comet is a harbinger of bad tidings and things like that.
Like Night of the Comet.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
or even better, Life Force.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say that.
yeah.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, except
Patrick Stewart is so horny in that movie.
we would love our vampire overlords if they all look like her.
That's a good movie. It's
Yeah, it is.
a little weird, but it's good.
I would love to cover that one. That one's bonkers.
Extended version.
They have an extended version? I didn't know there was an extended version.
Director's cut.
So, remember Riddick knocked those 2 ships out of the sky earlier, and they've kind of tracked him down to the Iman's house.
They're a little upset.
And then the Elemental shows up.
Love her.
Well, those guys are like priests or something. The other guys show up here in a minute.
Yeah, so she's here, I mean, because she knows why they need Riddick, specifically him, for this mission to take out the Lord Marshal.
Yeah, she's the one that gave the
really
prophecy.
Well, I love when she like gives a explanation, and then he's like, maybe you should try speaking in someone who is educated in the penal colony. Matter of fact, don't pretend.
Yes. And now the soldiers show up, of course. And they're like, hey, he's here to help. He's here to help. And this is a great fight scene because it lasts like a second.
You're not afraid of the dark, are you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Every fight scene in this movie is a great fight scene.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's all real quick. And I tried to capture as best I could, but he moves so fast and he's just taking these guys apart. They didn't stand a chance.
Like these early Vin Diesel movies, man, he was just like slaying, and it's like, now it's just kind of, and I get it, he's older, but it's this isn't something where I look back at like nostalgia or something that I grew up watching like Cobra, where I'm going like, okay, this is cool because Stallone made it cool. This is the same vibe as that, where you'll watch kind of something else from this era and go, oh, this is dog shit, and you're like, no, I like this now. It is the greatest movie ever. No, but I was like, he brings something to the table that he does. You just can't deny it.
It's
another actor wouldn't have worked.
Yes,
exactly.
I agree.
It's the over the top ridiculousness that they brought to the later Fast movies that doesn't work in that universe, but because this is sci-fi, it totally works.
Yes.
Yeah. And that honestly is because a lot. If you're not into the Fast and Furious movies, that's been like 75% of his career, basically. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, Lord. And I myself don't care for them. I don't. And a lot of people love them. Obviously, they wouldn't have made 27 of them if they didn't. But
Triple X movies too.
He did.
Yeah,
they were not good. The Triple X movies are not good movies. They're not even
one
good.
of them.
He made the first one. I think the sequel was all
Ice Cube was in the yeah.
And then there's one where they both
remember
each other.
Him like having a parachute or something behind like
he's a secret agent who resolves all his problems with like esports. Like
well, I mean, it's the same thing with Fast and Furious. All problems can be resolved by fast cars. It's like,
but to give Triple X credit, snowboarding down a mountainside to Hatebreed, I Will Be Heard is badass.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So
you can argue with that.
Back to plot. This scene is important because we need to understand what Riddick's motivations are here. So he left Jack and the Imam on the planet, and we get a sense that Riddick and Jack had. He says she looked to you as an older brother. I mean, I don't know.
She never forgave you.
Yeah, for leaving. and it's hard to really understand the timeline. It's been 5 years since the events of Pitch Black, so it's a weird dynamic. I mean, I don't believe they were even together that long, but Jack idolized Riddick. But we know now that from the Imam that she is in a Max Slam and called crematoria. Yeah, the Imam didn't know the name of it, but Riddick could deduce it from what the Imam said about it.
Right, crematoria.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a planet where it's always in daylight. It's 700 degrees. Or
good name for a coffee shop.
So here they come. And this is the comet. It's their giant fires.
I love that look.
It's just everybody's freaking out, and they know it's coming, but they also know there's almost nothing they can do about it.
Oh, of course.
To the shelter.
I do like that the planet fought back, and it had the guns and everything.
They tried.
Yeah, it was a battle, and they got the lights that go up into the sky, kind of like Luxor in Vegas.
A little bit.
So, a little bit. Yeah.
Some good shots of Riddick just kind of running through everything.
Yeah, just looking cool.
And then they just slam in, and it's just absolute chaos. And all the power goes out. This is pretty cool because you just watch this, and it goes from grid to grid to grid. It starts going down as the spires slam into the planet.
Gotta love those EMPs.
I didn't mind her storyline. It seemed
it's superficial.
I didn't understand why she idolized Riddick so much and why it was so traumatizing for him to leave when they really weren't even together that long. They did go through a traumatic event together in the events of Pitch Black, but okay. It works for story's sake, because it has to, but it just seemed kind of wonky.
You kind of have to read into it to kind of make it make sense. That's one of the flaws of this movie is that
you have to fill in a lot.
Yeah.
So the planet defenses are doing their
fighters. Best. I love the way the fighters take off from the mothership.
Spire.
It's kind of peeling off.
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, just all peel. It is cool. The visual effects in this are absolutely fantastic.
Well, and the fighters actually reminds me a little bit of the creatures from Pitch Black too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that does kind of look like a Bioraptor.
I think it does. I think he did that intentionally. There are a couple.
I would imagine
in the next one that are harkened back a little bit just from that type of thing. The shapes, they're excited because they just killed a bunch of dudes in there. So this is interesting. With there are thousands of necromonger troops running on the planet, and they're all doing their chung 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 chung. So all the extras who are necromonger soldiers all went through some basic training, so they could get down the unison of movement and that kind of stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's good.
I also like that the defenders were able to kind of fight back. Like those fighters shot down that drop ship, and then these guys, take care of all these guys here. But obviously, it's kind of no win because they're outnumbered and
too many.
There are always more necromongers.
Yeah, and the necromongers are totally willing to die too.
This is cool though, because this is almost like a miniature version of the City Killer. When you're the last man standing, you plant this staff, and the little blue ball comes out, and they're just watching it. Oh, that's kind of interesting. But then you look behind them, and there's just row of necromonger.
Well, this is the necromongers have collapsed probably dozens and dozens and dozens of civilizations.
Yeah, they've got this down to a science.
Yeah. I think their armor was awesome.
And at this point, for the necromongers, it's just a sheer numbers game. They have more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have numbers.
Yes. And again, I do want to say hi to everybody who's watching on X. Again, please comment if you want to pop over to YouTube. You're certainly welcome. But yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube right now, please like the show tonight and drop a comment. And this is Carl Urban. Now we know it's Carl Urban, but when you watch it for the first time, aside from the eyes, you're not really getting
Maybe,
that.
is this where maybe they got the
I have
idea
to
to
tell you
cast
that-
him as Dread?
Maybe.
Or
Maybe.
they're like, this guy
Urban
can act.
really knows how to
or math.
rock the helmet.
He does.
So Imam's trying to stash his family here.
Oh, the Watchers. The Watchers.
Whoa, these
things are
guys were
gnarly.
creepy.
What are they called?
So
They're
there's,
scanners.
where's my note on these guys?
You're lucky he's in the Venture Brothers.
Seekers?
They had those
Seekers, I think
too.
they're called.
Remember?
Yeah, so these guys were specially they were trained in weird body movements, and they actually had some of the Cirque du Soleil people
Mm.
do these roles because they were so freaking twisty and weird.
That would, yeah.
They freak me out because they seem, I mean, like not even human. But the necromongers do weird shit with people, which we'll
Right.
see later on in the movie,
Yeah.
which was like super creepy. Their version of a cell phone is not good. Yeah, these because they're just kind of snorting and looking because they get a vibe as to, you know, and then their user can see what they're seeing and they can look at that. Even the face is peculiar behind that glass. It's just
Right.
creepy as all fuck.
Well, it looks like they're like
Ah.
mummified or something in there.
Yeah,
They
and
got
this is what they see, which is just
Yeah.
crazy.
Mhm.
If you follow what they do to them, they're all like cyborgs, basically.
Mm-hmm.
right.
And also, I don't know if you noticed or caught this, but so the Lord Marshal has a Furion, he has an Elemental. Not all the necromongers are going to be humans.
Right.
Right.
It's true.
So maybe these Watcher dog guys are a special type of alien or human. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They may be because they are unnerving.
I did like the kind of the architecture of the planet. Like it's like a weird Middle Eastern Art Deco.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a vibe.
Well, it's
Yeah.
New Mecca.
Mecca.
Right. Yeah, I liked it.
Well-
I thought it was cool.
And I mean, each culture has it, like much like Lord of the Rings, and I'm not comparing this to Lord of the Rings, so please don't start throwing fruit at me. But each culture has its own look that is very unique to that culture.
Yes.
And you know, so which is great in separation. It's not like Star Trek, modern Star Trek, where every fucking thing looks exactly the same. Lame. This really defines the cultures. And
How was no
this
one
dude's
made
going
a
after the
how was no
Imam.
one made a Fast and the Furion joke yet?
Oh, you know, it's been nice having Sammy on tonight, but unfortunately,
Try the fish. I'll be here all week.
so
Yeah, that's
Imam's
what we
trying
gotta
to
tell.
keep his
Push
family
the
safe. This
fish.
was good.
I know.
Oh, this is
there's
such a good way to go.
I
out.
know there's an afterlife for me, Necromonger. Can you say the same?
And it
Dead.
doesn't last long for the Imam.
No.
Imam is not a fighter. He is just
No.
he is mainly distraction for his family right now. You know,
Yeah,
he's going
I
out
mean,
like a dude. Though.
That it's such a badass way to go out, to like just step out and be like, all right, focus all your attention on me, and I know what's going to happen. I'm going to do it anyway.
And this is where we know what happened to him.
That's a tooth of one of the
And Riddick
raptors.
picks that up.
Okay, guys, my back is acting up. I got to cut out now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Matt.
All right, man.
All right.
All right, bud.
Oh,
Well, it was good to have
care,
you
Matt.
with us, and I appreciated your conversation earlier today. You gave me a lot on this movie, and thank you for that, my brother.
No
I hope your
problem.
back feels better, dude.
Keep enjoying the film. So see you later.
Take care, man.
Later.
Yeah, have a good one, Matt.
Yeah,
Feel
take
better,
care,
man.
man.
Goodbye.
All right, so here we have the Lord Marshal, and his helmet took 6 weeks to put together, to assemble this thing. Not every, but yeah. So that was a work of art right there. And again, I talked about Lord of the Rings. The attention to detail on the stuff in this movie is pretty
His
remarkable.
pauldrons too. The pauldrons are awesome.
And there, the gentleman we see standing to his left is the Purifier.
Let's go replenish
he's
the
got-
ranks.
Yep. And what did he say? I love it when not when a civilization falls, when a
That's basically it.
It's essentially. I love it when a civilization falls.
The
Yeah, let's
smell
go
of
replenish
napalm
the
in the morning.
ranks.
and then like I said, but even then, like in this entire procession, you got the ships lined up, and as he's walking, they like shift to have a face come out. So there's a very much a pageantry and very as this Lord Marshal is. He's very artistic. He's very more of a. I guess from what I've discovered of this guy, he's more flamboyant than previous the Lord Marshals.
And in the reading, it says that the necromongers were modeled after the Romans, after a fashion, I suppose. And you can see that, though. I mean, because the Romans did. I mean, they would go in, and when they took over a culture, I mean,
they had it down to a science.
It was. And now they're having a meeting. Yeah. The meeting of the peoples doesn't go well for the peoples.
No,
they're all trying to be defiant and badass. And what now the Purifier, I love his delivery here, though, because he's like, all of us, every necromonger that is living was once something else.
For every necromonger living today is a convert.
Yep.
And he goes on about the underverse and blah 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 blah. You know, it's the propaganda of the conqueror. But the necromongers are.
It's basically you're going to get to the underverse.
Why do
by
that?
Death or by joining.
Yes.
Yeah. One thing I thought, why do that? What he's doing when the Lord Marshal can just grab somebody and that'd make them convert faster.
You can just yank your soul out.
Well, I think because with any conquering, you want folks to be willingly join you first.
Yes, it's easier.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you would always prefer volunteers over conscripts.
And then the guy with the normalest outfit in the whole movie, he was like, "I'm not doing that."
That's Christopher.
None of us will do what you are asking.
Stargate. Oh yeah.
He's another sci-fi channel veteran, and actually was in my store back in the day.
Oh,
really?
He was one of these guys just like walk by. I'm like, I'm not going to say anything because I think I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. Also, he's in Hell on Wheels.
I did that one time, and I was embarrassed. I was like, is that a football player?
And it wasn't.
And it was like, nope, it's not him. Now I'm embarrassed. Bye.
So Lord Marshal is basically doing the follow-up speech here. And you got the same guys. Like, we're not gonna convert. We're not gonna convert. All right.
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
And I will just take your soul.
Just rips it out of him.
Just rips it out.
Because I think this is the first.
He pulls a Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, because I think this is the first Lord Marshal that has seen both death and life. That's what gives him kind of his abilities. Like he can see both sides of things.
Right.
And he's looking at his own soul, and it just drops to the floor. And the Purifier always looks just like, oh well.
Join him.
I tried to
or join me.
And then, of course, they all kneel. Except for Riddick. He just kind of pops in. It's like.
I love this. I love when he says, I will take a piece of that guy. And Urban says, a piece you will have.
She'll have.
Yes.
Love it.
Right there.
Everybody. But I will take a piece. Say him.
Yeah, I'm not with everyone else.
Piece you will have.
And he's the guy who killed the imam, his friend. Well, friend. If Riddick has a friend, I mean, as close to a friend as Riddick can have.
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
Riddick starts the movie with two friends. He ends it with a. Well, we'll get to that.
Friends, what are those?
But yeah, this is kind of another guy because he's kind of just apparently immune to pain and such because he has a dagger just in his back.
Yeah, like the first scene you ever see the guy, he's got it sticking out of his back. Doesn't
Yeah.
explain
Yes.
how it got there.
All the necromongers do things that involve pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird lifestyle, the lifestyle of the necromonger. So Riddick
Don't
takes the
kink
blade
shame.
from his back.
Well, and then, well, I
I
love
have
this.
to say this.
I love this is when the marshal goes, "Ergo, one of my finest." If you say
If
so.
you say so.
And he hands Riddick the blade. What do you think of his blade? He does this whole little spinny thing. It's fine. He's like, it's a half.
Yeah, that looked a little corny. Sorry.
It's a half gram heavy on the back end.
That's what it was.
But
yeah.
what were you saying, Jacob?
I know I'm nitpicking, but that knife would not do much. It would get
No,
stuck
I don't
in
think so
things
either.
and you-
It's more decorative than
But
anything.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's a peculiar
right.
looking blade. But there are a lot of peculiar looking things in this movie.
Yeah, but yeah, no, making the knife a fidget spinner, I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Yeah.
well, and then we get at this. In our faith, you keep to what you kill, and he attempts to push it back, and he resists him, and the marshal's like, okay, this is something new. This
Yeah.
is intriguing. I'm curious. I
So-
need to know more about this guy. So they take him before the quasi-dead.
Some of the features
And
on the armor reminds me of Gears of War. For some reason.
Okay.
Mm.
I can buy that too. Yeah, the
Yeah.
sharp shoulder points on the shoulder guards. So they were going to force him to go back to the quasi-dead. And we'll get to that in a
if the
second.
breeder, perhaps if
Yeah.
the breeder, and I'm like, breeder, wow, that's
Well, she's not wrong though. Remember,
Right.
necromongers don't make necromonger babies. They
no.
only convert. So yeah, so she just kind of charms him into going back with her. And the line here that was again a little corny. I haven't smelled pretty in a
Beautiful.
long time.
I haven't
Or
seen
something.
something beautiful forever.
But it's creepy though. But Matt and I talked about this a little bit earlier on in the day. In the first movie, Riddick takes that snip of hair from
Mhm.
Fry and smells it like it gives you the gibblies. In this one, you get this scene about I haven't smelled beautiful in a long time or something to that effect. Again, a little creepster, and we get another scene in the next movie which is not dissimilar to the scene with Fry. So Riddick, while not being a entirely bad guy, is definitely not entirely a good guy. He just kind of
No.
is what he is. He's a very strange antisocial man with this particular set of skills.
Oh, and he's got years and years and years of being institutionalized. I'm sure like
Yeah.
he isn't really around women that often. And also, I don't know if you guys have seen those real life interviews with Vin Diesel where he's hitting on the women who interview him.
Oh, Nancy O'Dell
He's-
was the big one.
he's-
Yeah.
Yeah, when did we get into beautiful land? I was like, oh God. So I mean, there might be some real life decision making going into play there as well.
And
So they talk about his fighting style being called Kali. Kali.
Yeah.
It's a
Uh-huh.
straightforward, powerful attacks, often used with blunt weapons. And they call his a messy style of this particular thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
Um,
Southeast
It's from Thailand,
Asian-
isn't it?
Yeah, Thailand. No, it might be. It's from that kind of that area of the world. There actually is Kali.
I might have gone a different way.
yeah, she's like, "What isn't it magnificent?" Yeah, I might have gone a different way.
Might have gone a
And
different
again,
way.
you have
Again, very
most
Geiger.
of
This entire
yes. Oh yeah, the artwork. Yeah, it's very. Yeah, these guys, freaking just very Geigery, very creepy. It's cool.
I
looking.
love it though. I love it though. It is beautiful
it's-
though.
It is. It's like
It
gothic,
remind.
creepy, beautiful.
Yeah.
I know I'm putting out a lot of reminders to other movies, but those statues they remind me of in the Mummy where the he gets taken back into the underworld or whatever. The
I can see
wall
it.
of the liquid people kind of grabbing him, kind of reminded me of that.
Gets way naked. So if you in this frame, you have a lot of major players, and you don't even really realize it yet. I mean, you have Vaco in the back here, Lady Vaco, his lady friend. To call it is it? I mean, wife, yes, but they have odd relationships. I don't even understand the point of having a wife in the necromonger world. It's just it's a weird place. And then you have the
It's for the
purifiers.
funsies.
Well, who's gonna help you
So-
connive in the behind the scenes?
Well, that's true. You need someone to help you connive. So the purifier is played by Linus Roach. He was originally wanted to read for Vaco, which I think is interesting. But as soon as the director saw him, he's like, "No, that is the purifier." He felt that immediately.
Oh, that was a good
that
call.
actor.
Good call.
Mhm.
It would have been a terrible
Yeah.
Vaco. So here and he's like, "Those are the converted." This is they go through this fucking strange process. You know, it's painful, but then it takes away your other pain. I don't really understand. And so I was hoping Matt was going to stick with this a bit longer because I don't really understand what's going on here, what they are doing to these people. There is obviously some physical and mental thing that takes place, but it's never really defined. And again, it's up to you
Yeah, I thought they were just kind of like desensitizing them and just kind of like the Cinnabite style of we have such.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were inputting
Mhm.
if they had a neural implant that basically like shuts off certain parts of like the nervous system or the brain.
Yeah, and I would agree with that, Mando. But when we get later in the movie, a certain event happens that I have a hard time explaining. And when we get there, we'll discuss that.
Well,
Serious man, we are talking about the movies, my friend. No, the other stuff comes up because it kind of has to, but we're primarily talking about the movies.
And the process leaves this nice butthole looking thing on your neck.
Well,
a shield wall. You know what the mark reminds me of? It reminds me of the smallpox vaccine that you get in.
Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah.
See, I kind of thought that whole process was like to bring all the converted to the brink of death so that they like wish for death, because that's kind of all, like how these guys all are, is to reach.
No idea.
I just thought it was kind of like basic torture, but just like break their mind.
I thought there was some kind of process going on.
Yeah.
Injecting
There's
with
definitely
something,
some sort of reprogramming.
either injecting with something or sucking something out of them.
What? You never really watched the movies? What are you doing with your life, a serious man? Now this is funny.
But he liked the game.
He liked the game. So she's lured him into the trap now, which he knew was coming. He knows it's a trap. He's not stupid. And she's like, the more you resist, the more it's gonna hurt. She says it nicer than that, but that's the gist of it.
She said no means yes and yes means anal.
God damn it.
Oh, I'm sorry. My mic.
Wrong movie. That was not the right movie. You guys gotta stop watching that. This part was really cool and really weird. So he activates his gravity thing, and the weapon drops, and then it forces Riddick down as well. And then these things come out. These are I'm sorry. What are they called?
The quasi-dead.
Quasi-dead. What the fuck does that mean? Nobody knows. But they are basically reading him.
It's a bunch of chicks underneath.
Yeah, they're like the Betty Jesuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the closest to dead
they're like
that anybody
dead.
else can be, other
Right.
than like the Lord Marshal, who has apparently been dead but also not.
So they recognize that he is a Furion, which
In
is
traffic,
something
I'm a
that
Furion.
never
Go
gets
Furion.
addressed in Pitch Black. That never comes up. There's never really a reason for it to come up in Pitch Black.
No.
But
Right.
in this movie, it's super fucking important. But you didn't get any of that in Pitch Black. But
Well,
this
Pitch
place,
Black. I think I said in the back room before the show started that this is kind of an aliens sort of like sequel,
Yes,
where they're
as far
two
as the
very
dynamic
different
goes, yeah.
things. So
Mhm.
the 1st movie is a horror,
Exactly.
like hard sci-fi thing. This gets into a lot of mythology and establishing a lot more universe sort of thing. It's a very different movie, despite being technically in the same universe. So yeah, there's a lot of mythology here. They bring up things that didn't exist before, that don't need to exist before, and kind of build up the universe.
It does there are some continuity issues.
Yeah.
They're not crazy, but they're there, and we'll talk about them when we get to them, because they do create some issues, and it's more deep nerd stuff, but it kind of is what it is. So the quasi dead are saying kill the Fury, and they're kind of wigging out.
Kill the Riddick.
Like,
Kill the
kill
Riddick.
the
He's
Riddick.
Fury and
Yeah.
Kill the Riddick. That's right. Yeah.
And their little
So-
juice cups are busting because they're so yeah.
we have
Their juice
someone
cups.
named Jack.
Busted makes me feel good.
Woo! Busting cups.
This is where, and then Judi Dench. I mean, she knew what was going down anyway.
Ask him where he comes
like-
from. Who are his people? This is what I need to know. We detect energy, fury and energy. He's Fury and Survivor. Fury and Survivor.
Yeah, and then it everything goes chaos. And this is a memory Riddick is having at this point. He doesn't really understand it, but it's a memory.
Yeah.
And then his mother. This is where these scenes in the long cut are better, because you understand the context better of what's happening here.
Mhm.
Lord Marshal on his campaign, went to Furia, and that's what this is trying to relay. That was one of his earlier campaigns.
It's because the elemental gave him a prophecy that a Furian would take his place.
Yes.
So he destroys the entire planet, even though he wasn't supposed to. He didn't try to convert anybody. He just wiped them out. Yeah, good.
Right.
So Riddick-
I just like how Riddick's mom is dressed up like John Travolta in Battlefield Earth.
That's
Much
peculiar.
Better on
Oh,
her.
better looking though. Much better looking though.
Oh yeah,
Fun thing.
So everything's falling apart here. Now the purifier, for reasons we don't understand, shuts off the gravity lock. So Riddick's able to get up again, and he starts going to town on the necromongers. I love their gun. Their gun is so badass. It is deadly and
It's like
glorious.
it's like
And again, the effects is also really cool.
it's like a concussion blast.
Yes. And we don't know how he gets out of the ship, because it seems to me there would have been an awful lot to get through. To
Yeah,
do this.
that was one thing.
Yeah.
It's like he's out of the ship.
Suspend belief, because they're
Nah,
and then he's
it'll be
suddenly
fine.
running on the planet.
it'll be fine.
Here, I'm going to leave you guys with this for a second. Someone had too much energy drink, but I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Just kind of look yourself for a second. Nobody leave, you guys out there in Twitter land. It's nice to have so many of you here tonight. We got like 76 folks watching on Twitter side.
Roman, you just gotta start keeping a bucket
and we got our
nearby.
folks over on YouTube. So thank you for hanging out with us tonight, guys. I'll be right back. Just throw your comments at the panel right now as to how you feel about what went down with the quasi-dead in the Necromonger ship.
I was strangely aroused.
This is the one thing I didn't get
How
about this.
so?
is
They
that
didn't have a beard.
you got these mercs
They're
who
zombies.
show up here. Who would be crazy enough to go to a planet being taken over to capture a bounty? I
The
mean,
payday is huge. The payday
The
for
bounty.
I don't think there's enough payday for anything,
Yes,
because
the
they're going to be
bounty.
coming after these people next. I mean, where are you going to go spend your money when
well, they
the entire universe is
It might have
converted?
been a personal thing too.
well, and
Well, I can buy that.
Also,
Yeah, I
Toombs-
mean, he did wipe out his crew.
and also
Yeah.
Toombs thinks he's slick. See,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tombs was introduced in that cartoon, the midway between Pitch Black and
Right.
this movie.
right,
So there's a little more backstory with them.
right. There's some
I've
history.
actually ever seen that.
I didn't even know there was a
Yeah.
cartoon.
That
Yeah.
would now make sense to me now,
That's-
because I can never figure
is
out
it,
why on
45?
earth.
45, 49-minute cartoon.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
a. Yeah,
I mean,
it's
because you can tell even at the very first, like the intro with Tombs, that they have history.
right.
So there's
Mhm.
he's got a payday that he's chasing, but it's also like pride, kind of like
Mhm.
I
Right.
want to be the guy that got
That
rid
brings
of
him in,
this.
right.
He's always
Yep.
the guy that gets away.
Oh, yeah.
Respect,
Okay.
got it.
Yeah, so he's chasing, I think, both a personal vendetta, but also fame in addition to his money.
Correct.
So that's why Tomb is so locked in on.
Hmm?
That's like that's how he retires, is when he brings Riddick in for that last time. That's when he's like, all right, I am the greatest it's ever existed. And that's why he's chasing him so hard, even amongst all of this.
See, if I were Toombs, I wouldn't be getting too big ahead at this point. Riddick lets himself get taken. He doesn't get taken. He just gives up right here because he wants to go with them.
He needs a ride.
Right. He needs a
he
ride. Exactly.
He
Right.
needs
He
to go
knows
to
that they'll
crematorium.
take him to.
And
He
then
knows they'll take him to the only
and right
slayer
here,
in the area.
and then right here, he's like, "What took you so long?"
Yeah.
And then
exactly. He knew.
And then later on, he basically tells the crew exactly what Toombs has planned, and they're like, "How does he know all this?" And Toombs is just go.
It's just there's so many badass things. Like, what does he say? Like, new crew. Did you tell him what happened to the last
Skittish.
one?
Yeah.
They're skittish. Skittish
Again,
dudes.
a who's
real
who, the dude on the
skittish.
right's in Battlestar Galactica. I think that's Terry Chin there at the front. He's in
Yep.
a lot of sci-fi stuff. Was
Mhm.
in yeah.
Okay,
The
that
woman's
necklace
been in a
he's
ton of
wearing,
stuff.
I actually got that in a like 25 cents machine at a bowling alley
Nice.
back in the day. I got that at Great, or no, it wasn't a
Oh my
bowling
God.
alley. It was a skate rink. It was a skate rink.
There you
Even
go.
better.
Great skate.
Is that
Wow.
woman? Is she from the Underworld movie? Is that Rona Mitra?
No.
Um,
It might be. It might be.
That's
She was
Christina
in-
Cox.
Okay.
Then no.
Nope.
She's in a lot of like random sci-fi TV like show stuff, like along with a whole lot of these guys, like Terry
Yeah.
Chan and also Roger Cross. Yeah, there's I'm looking at the Ty Olson, a whole bunch of them.
She was
They-
in like
they-
Stargate Atlantis or something.
Yeah,
Um,
like they
yeah.
pop up everywhere, and
Yeah,
it's
she's
always
been
even
in a
like
ton.
Christopher Heyerdahl at the beginning. He was a guy had his soul ripped out. He pops up in everything
Oh.
too.
Yeah,
so,
he's in a lot of Star Trek or Stargate stuff, and
yeah.
Skittish
Wasn't he
Toombs.
wasn't he
Real
one of those
skittish.
bug dudes or whatever?
Wraith.
He was a Wraith.
Yeah, Wraith. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's had a couple of different roles on that show, but yeah, I think she
Mhm.
did pop up in.
Todd.
if-
Todd the Wraith.
No, he wasn't Todd.
Okay, now this scene here, he's like Butcher Bay, protein waffles ain't bad, and they mention them.
Yeah.
They keep a cell open for me just in case I
Yeah,
pass through. No, let's go somewhere really done. Only one slam left that could house me. Crematoria.
yeah. He specifically knows that there's 3 supermaxes
Yep.
in the area, but only one that ship can reach,
Right.
and it's Crematoria.
Yeah,
And
he
that's
takes
that's
apart-
where they get the line that what y'all were talking about earlier, where it's like the crew says, "How does he know what we're doing when we don't even know?"
Skittish Toombs. Real skittish.
Skittish.
Look at you. You're all tough here, but now look at you all back of the bus.
yeah, that was always funny.
That is a line that that actor came up with. That was not part of the script. He did that.
Nice.
Nice.
Good line.
And then when they go into sleep, he's like, gonna square up with Jack. So right now, I'm just gonna bide my time, all back of the bus.
So here we see the ship going into orbit, and Vaco is out looking for them, and he's got the weird little seer dudes looking up, and
Look,
he sees a
droids.
Ion trail.
and Vaco's like,
Got him.
God damn it.
Fuck.
This was again cool. Lord Marshal's going over his plans to conquer the Helion system. And these kind of rotating, it's the planets, and he's just going through it. It's like a liquid stuff. It almost looks like something from
It's cool, though.
Man of Steel, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kryptonian stuff.
What's the real world thing? It's like the it's like liquefied sort of like metal that's like they use
Mercury.
magnetic forces to like
Mercury almost.
merge
No,
and
it's
things, so,
I know what you're talking about. I've seen that. Yeah.
yeah.
And now-
I don't know what it's called.
And now here, Vago already has thoughts in his head of taking the Marshal down. Let's see how close I
Yeah,
can
he's
get
sneaking up. He just wants to see, and then boom, he does that
right behind
freaky
you.
thing, and he's like, yeah, he's off world now.
Yeah, it's a nice little touch to just like set it up for what we're gonna see later on. That he's got so much like more like his perception of everything.
Yes,
right. And then also in this scene, you see him get a little unnerved because Vago is like, you're gonna send me and an entire squadron to take down one guy, and he just goes, "Don't question me."
yeah, and it like
Just-
echo. You can feel the words have percussion.
Right.
Yeah.
Take it on faith. And he's like, okay.
And this bald dude here standing next to the black guy, Crone is his name, and he becomes of interest in the next movie.
Ooh.
Oh, this is
Her makeup looks like
Oh
it
my
burns when it
God.
comes on, which is a little peculiar.
Yes,
It
that's what
is.
I'm doing.
It
It's
is
a
because-
nice touch.
Got a burning eye.
because
I actually knew someone who used to do their eye makeup a lot like that, and ugh.
but it goes back to what we said, but it goes back to what we established
Are they
earlier. A
returning?
lot of what the necromongers, their culture is pain.
Yep.
This is the plotting scene. This is Vaco himself has some ideas, but his ideas are primarily coming from Lady Vaco.
Oh, it's always the woman. So
She
I
wants
mean-
him to take over as
Right.
Lord Marshal. So he's
Sorry,
out of his armor
sorry,
here. He's stripped
Mando.
down. He's in necromonger casual wear in this scene.
I like the fact that his armor is like posted up in the back, kind of like samurai armor.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not gone. It's always close by.
Yeah.
I also like that she says, "What should I speak of it quieter so it sounds more like a conspiracy?"
Would you say something like people like say conspiracy when it's like forethought or planning or something along those?
Prudent planning.
Yes.
Ugh. And
This is when she like.
Yeah, she went a little too far for Vaco and
That's
her,
okay. She's into it.
and now there's
and she is, and then
And
they-
I
hey,
want to go
Jenna.
down to the. I want to go
Jenna.
down to the throne when nobody's there and kneel.
Jenna,
before
hello.
You. It's like, oh my.
yeah, oh my, a not so subtle
That is
illusion.
that's some angry love in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so now he's brought the Eternal and
Elemental.
the Elemental. I'm sorry.
And
And
the
Baco's
effect
like,
on
he has a-
her is very simple, but it sells it every single time when they just get that little.
Yeah, she's kinda floats
transparent
in.
everything. Yeah.
Mhm.
And Lady Vaco brings up an interesting point here. She's like, she's a prisoner, but he doesn't treat her as a prisoner.
Right.
Because they're like always neutral or whatever, but then she calls them like
Yeah.
they're witches and
Spies.
spies.
But there's
yeah.
also background there. She's the one that told him about Riddick.
Right.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And now here we are
Yeah.
back on the ship. She's
Little thirst,
out of cryo.
little thirst
sleep.
trap in there. She's got a little thirsty going.
This is a peculiar scene.
She's thirsty. She's thirsty. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Again,
exactly
I
what it
mean,
is.
have you seen the other guys she's like spending time on a ship with?
No one looks like they smell very good.
Yeah.
No.
I'm
And
looking
none of
at-
them
I'm
have
looking at YouTube.
goggles.
None of them have goggles. And he
And none
kind
of
of
them have-
latches onto her with his
And-
knees here.
None of them have the reputation either. I mean, there's something
Yeah.
primal about this guy.
Yep.
And then we get to
I love
Creed,
that.
Ugh.
which is
Even
an
in Pitch
absolutely
Black,
terrifying planet.
even in Pitch Black, he's always awake, even in cryo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they discuss that the animal part of the brain stays awake, but he's like all animal part of the brain. So
Yeah.
The Ignean system. Igneon. Wow. That's a lovely name for an entire
Yeah.
system of planets.
That's a mouthful.
again, the space effects, like the effects on the planet, and in the same movie, in Pitch Black, the space stuff is absolutely gorgeous.
It is.
Let me see here, the production designer here, because did such a good job. I think it may have been I think they used the same people for most of the stuff here. Set was Peter Lando, and production design Hodger Gross, cinematography Hugh Jackson. Again, because the look is similar to, you know, they're very consistent with the way the shooting is, which is also nice. You don't ever get taken out of the movie by a dramatic shift in tone visually of the film.
Well, I mean, and even thematically here, we go from the previous movie where as dangerous as daylight is, it's the dark that's going to kill you, and then he ends up on a planet where it's the dark that's safe, and the light is what's going to kill you.
My mom used to pick an actor per year and watch all their stuff. After Vin Diesel, there was a Vin Diesel calendar on the wall. It's fantastic. So they got to be very careful on their approach to crematoria, because
I love this. It's like angle of approach, not good.
Yeah. Like the ship's computers are already like, you're fucked, because in the daylight areas it's over 700 degrees, and the notes for this were pretty funny. They're like 700 degrees Celsius, mind you, not Fahrenheit, so it's even hotter. The peak temperature of a self-cleaning oven is at 427 degrees Celsius. At that temperature, all organic matter in the oven cavity is reduced to ash. So this is, think about that.
Yeah, they're trying to beat the sun to get him down there and get their payday faster, because otherwise they have to sit and wait for the rotation of the planet to come around again.
Right.
It also gets, on the dark side, it's minus 300.
Okay, now just this here. Because of how the heat moves, how everything shifts, and it's just jagged and just heat scorched, and it is horrible. It is ugly, but it's beautiful. It's just
Well, and it makes sense.
Yes.
It makes sense based on the environmental factors of the planet. So it's not just some weird. It's not just, you know, a black scorched earth kind of thing. It's this crazy landscape of these you know, almost knife-like.
One thing that doesn't make sense is, why is the runway always clear?
Well, you know,
Jacob, you stop that right now. You
That's
start
logic.
trying to inject
We
logic
don't
into
do
this. The whole
logic
thing
in
comes
this
apart.
You don't put logic in
I'm
these
sorry.
things.
Everybody turns on Jacob right there, just like.
How dare you, sir?
So the hangar's opening for their approach, and you know, zip bang.
party poppers.
Yeah, and so it's a way they're reducing speed rapidly. That's what the party poppers
skittish.
are. And they go into the
Real
hangar.
skittish.
Now I'm gonna pull a Jacob here for a second.
I just shit
How
myself.
the fuck did they construct this super slam?
Yeah.
Come on. There's absolutely
Yeah.
no way they could have done it. It's again, you just have to leave it there and go, okay, I accept that. It's
And
there.
who's paying for these things? You
right?
know, who's running
a
the prison
taxpayer?
system?
A taxpayer, just like always, Blair.
It's privately funded.
Well, I could
Base
Base
see,
taxes.
I could see them like in a ship or something, scanning for cavities underneath, and like
I guess, but I mean, there's just so much
pre-building
fantastic.
it, and
Robots.
you know, just
I love the heat with wobbles.
cut a hole and put it
Right there
in there
in the
as it's
middle.
on the cold side. So
All right, I can't accept that. So yeah, the ship is cooking. It is like hot.
I mean, it's a nice little story bit because the ship spent very little time in the sun. So it clues us in as the viewers just how absolutely dangerous that is. Because you can see what's happening on the planet from orbit and everything like that, but it makes it more real when they were actually kind of in legitimate danger there, where one side of the ship is red hot.
This is my
They
favorite
pop him
part
down
here.
and
the gun scene.
This is
Sorry.
the little roller car.
Copa!
Here. It's almost-
I'm sorry.
Copa!
Hey, Copa.
Our man Copa.
Hey,
Blind balls. All right, I'm gonna go blind for you, buddy.
my
So this
sunglasses
is almost
on.
like a railroad car system
Mhm.
kind of thing that they're jetting down to the prison because they're still pretty high up. It's like 29 kilometers or something.
28.6, I think.
Jake.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
So this
man.
guy's kind of a dick.
Oh.
He rubs his tongue or rubs his tongue on his
Shotgun.
fingers and rubs them on his goggles, and they're like, those goggles are mine when you get to that slam. It's like, okay,
Just go back one, Roman.
to the foot.
No, back one more.
That one.
Yes, look at that shotgun, man. Look at the barrel on that thing. Whew. That's a big barrel.
It's good looking. Oh, his goggles are fucked up. Maybe
Warhammer.
that's why he wants the
Warhammer
goggles. I didn't even
barrel.
notice that.
Yeah.
So Riddick is
There's
counting
no
the
holes
law
in this movie.
Right.
and
No.
this is funny. So he's looking at the overhead, and he just raises his knees up,
His
and the
waist.
guy gets whacked
His
off.
hips.
Gets whacked off.
Raises his
That'd be a
hips.
better way to say that.
I'm
Gets
sorry,
whacked
Roman.
in the head.
Do you want to repeat
I
that?
know.
Mm.
Clip
And then he
that.
just looks like,
They're like, four-way split.
It's like,
Four-way
I don't know.
split. Oh, 29.
Yeah, they're all excited. 29.4 kilometers. And here's where the negotiations start with the prison guys as far as the bounty goes.
And of course,
So,
the prison guards are Russian.
well, it
Of
goes
course.
without saying. All space prison guards are Russian.
Yes.
So they keep stopping. They're lowering them down. They keep stopping, and they're kind of negotiating price.
I take the money, Toombs. This is bad, boss. This is bad. And then, okay, so you've got this dynamic here going up top, and then the bottom, and then in the prison itself, you've got convicts trying to dictate the rules of how things go here.
Yeah, it's like almost like in Escape from New York. They created their own little world down here. And it's
There's a
They're like,
convict
fresh meat. Let's eat him.
vodka.
I wasn't quite sure if they wanted to kill him and eat him for food or just test him out or something.
I mean, who knows? This is the worst of the worst. That's who comes to crematoria. So he does this weird move where he's wrapping himself up in the rope to gain altitude, and then drops.
It's a
Well,
badass
twofold.
move.
Twofold. It's twofold. One, he can also hear to what their plans are better. Then to gain the momentum to dislodge himself.
Yeah.
And then you have chain snap, and he is down with the peoples, landing in superhero fashion.
And years later, we would get the much worse version of this when Thor was dangling around in chains.
Oh, right.
No. Wow.
So they go
Just,
on him
again,
immediately.
just another
Immediately,
great fight.
yeah, he takes them apart like they're nothing.
Short work.
And here,
in the fight scenes in this
She
movie
got hot.
are how you do like quick cuts well, as opposed to what we see a lot now, which are quick cuts to hide things.
yes,
Like it's everything we see here, even though it's a lot of quick short cuts, it builds into the momentum of the fight.
where is it? So this is not the same actress that played
No.
Jack.
No, she wanted to come
Here it
back,
is.
but
Brianna Griffith auditioned to reprise her role of Jack from Pitch Black.
Now, this is Alexa Davalos, I think.
Yes.
Yep, Alexa Davalos. So
Angel.
Totally
Totally
didn't
actually
have a crush on her back in the day, and totally didn't watch that episode of Angel over and over again.
Now, I've watched this film with the commentary on it, and it's Alexa and Carl Urban and the director. She's an odd bird. She is. Woo.
Is she?
She modeled herself after
Isn't she
Amy
French?
Lee, the lead singer of Evanescence.
Evanescence.
Kind
Oh,
of
I'm
for
sorry.
her.
Oh, okay.
She's going
Serious.
for her, yeah. Weird,
sorry.
right?
Now that
Not
explains
getting-
my crush back in the day.
That vibe.
So here is the the gentleman's prisoner. Talking
you-
about the prisoners and convicts, and the code and all that, because you have to have one.
And he's another one of the many actors that you've seen in like a dozen different things, but you never
Yes.
know his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid character actor.
I'm just passing
And he-
through.
Yeah, I'm just passing through because he's going over all this whole very, very clearly prepared speech, and he's like, I'm just passing through.
Yeah,
The guy that plays Apophis,
Oh,
it's like I've played in this kind of place before, a hot
There's-
prison.
Oh, yeah, he
Now-
did.
Beard
now,
demon.
now this is the call. This is the call back to Pitch Black, where John's had that scar.
Yeah, I forget which ribs
the sweet
is the
spot.
spot to go through
The
here.
sweet
The
spot.
sweet spot. Isn't that what you told me? Isn't that what you taught me?
How do I get eyes like that? You got to kill
You
a
gotta-
few people.
How do I get
Done
my
that.
eyes shined like that?
Done that. Couple packs of cools sold me out, Riddick.
Yeah, so she
Uh,
joined Merc team because she wanted to find him.
Right.
And instead of that, what they did was they hookered her out.
Right.
They slaved her out, is what she said. But that's, you understand the gist of it, which is unfortunate. It's like, do you know what that does to a kid, that age?
I told you to stay in New Mecca. I had marks on my neck. I'll always have marks on my neck.
So he didn't abandon her. He left her because everybody around him, bad things happen to. That's why he isolated himself on that ice planet, to be away from everyone.
Right.
So he wouldn't hurt the people that in whatever strange way he cared about.
Well, even just not even just them, even just regular innocents. Like, he is this bad man, but he doesn't hurt innocents necessarily. At least I don't get that feeling, because otherwise he would have stayed on New Mecca and just like been away from them. But he went away from everybody.
There was also a line now in here. There's also a line in here. I didn't come here to play who's the better kid. Who's the better kid? Killer. But it's my favorite game.
So
Jack.
also we talk about the eyes in this. They don't do that surgery. And this is one of the slight inconsistencies here. Which makes it sound like he lied in the first movie about, you got to find a doctor that'll do it for 20 menthol cools or whatever. That doesn't apparently exist. So she says, what other lies, was everything you said a lie to me? So now that's a question mark as far as the eyes go. And that's something that does come up again in the third movie.
Right.
Why
And
don't
this
the
scene
other Furians have it?
and this scene
that's
has
inconsistent.
And this scene has another callback where he said, I left you to keep you safe, and you go up and sign up with the same people who would cut you up and use you as bait.
And they did at least
because that's what Johns wanted to do with her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. Yes. So she
The
actually
name's
cut
Kira.
him, which is more than most people have ever done.
And the name's Kira now.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kira.
Yeah. Jack's dead.
Jack's dead.
So now Vaco's out here on his mission. He's not happy. And this is where the purifier has, it really tests you out here, away from the fleet.
The Armada, the Lord Marshal. If you keep this up, the only thing you will test is my patience.
Yep.
Joker, I have the
And again,
feeling
we
you've seen this
see-
movie more than once.
Maybe a few times.
We see that these guys are using some kind of, the weird necromonger tech for navigation and flying the ship. Cool stuff.
I don't want to demean this movie, but this kind of reminds me. Was it Last Starfighter, the bad guys in those ship? That it kind of gives me the same vibes.
A little bit.
All right. I like that movie too.
What we get out of the scene is that the purifier kind of knows what Vaco's up to. This is cool. I don't really know how they did this, but you just kind of have to go with it. They've attached chains to the elemental, so she can't just,
In order to
disappear.
Float away. Yeah.
And now this is
Now she's
Lady
walking around
Vaco
like
has
Marley.
summoned her to have the discussion. Yes, or is this still? No, yeah, Lady Vaco has summoned her. And she releases the chains. And she's questioning her about what she has told the Lord Marshal.
You know, I got to point out that taking the chains off before you threaten throwing somebody out that's basically wind into the air, it's a bad move.
Right.
Yeah.
Elementals.
I was
Do
thinking
they
the
fly?
same thing.
Well, she does a
Like,
thing
it's
where
just-
she's
like,
like, "No,
she-
we don't fly, but we float very well."
We float very
Yeah,
well.
like she pushes her towards it, and then she just floats over to the other side, like, bitch, what you got?
And I don't remember. Did she tell her the prophecy? Did she tell her the same thing? She did, because she uses that with Vaco about the fear. Lord Marshal is pursuing Riddick because he is afraid of him. And this is the worst version of a cell phone ever.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
T-Rex
not
approaching.
great.
I guess he's got it. They're like
Yeah.
similar to quasi-dead or something like that. Because it's just creepy. It's like a
That's what they are.
semi-corpse.
I mean, that's what they are.
And they can communicate
deal.
back and forth through these. And this is what she's telling Vaco. Do your mission and get back. He's going in, and if he's afraid, he isn't suitable to be Lord Marshal. Is this conversation?
So my thought during this scene, I was like, what happens if you want to have like some, what's the word? Very, very private conversations. Like, I feel like this is not the most secure way to have a long distance conversation.
It gets.
I don't know.
weird
Yeah, who
really
knows
quickly.
how they're linked or what kind of bizarre? Again, the
Well,
necromonger
it's
stuff
like
is creepy.
it's like what's his face said early on, that there are multiple verses and that there's the underverse. So that's what I see, is they're communicating through a different reality than what everybody else is. That's what the quasi-dead are. Is they're kind of in both realities. But yes, that would get really weird really quickly, Mando.
Very unnerving.
That's just what happens when you
The
kind of
Lord
die.
Marshal's
You
like-
turn into Killian
It's like an
Murphy.
answering machine.
I just feel like if you were like wanting to talk about like a secret plot to overthrow somebody who's half dead is not the way that I would like.
Secret
Yeah.
plot. I thought you were talking about different sort of like personal communications. Never mind.
But that too. No, it was
heaven's sake.
twofold. Twofold.
Then Lord Marshal's walking by, and as they're getting off the phone, this is her goodbye kiss. Ew.
See, gets weird really
Ew.
quickly. I told
Yeah,
you.
that
Ghiblis,
yeah.
Ghiblis.
I just
There's
what?
your-
No.
There's
no.
your private conversation, Mando.
And Vaco just slides him back into his drawer. But the purifier heard this whole conversation again. So Riddick's taking a bath, and the only place he knows where he can. He's the nice gentleman prisoner talking about, I can see her face, and blah blah blah. But it's been so long, I can't remember her name. He's trying to convince Riddick he's going to die in the prison, and Riddick's like, "Okay,
Yeah.
fuck off."
He's like, I'm just
And-
again just passing through.
Now it's feeding time. This is when they release the hellhounds, these big, angry reptilian dog-looking things. And I'm not quite sure if it's just to control the prisoners, to kill the prisoners. There's a lot of reasons, I guess, why you could do this. These are a great looking
Entertainment.
effect, though,
Oh,
or just
Yeah.
entertainment. They are Russians.
I think it's all of the above.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that, Mando.
population control, keep everybody
Yeah.
from like trying to get out of line, because you never know when you're going to release
Good
the hounds.
doggy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great look, though. It's a fantastic effect.
Mhm.
So everybody is scrambling to get the fuck away. Basically, get back into your. I mean, it may just be get back into your cages, or or if you're out, then I guess you're getting eaten. So Riddick's hanging out, and he and the Hellhound lock eyes, and
Yeah, he has a full on like Crocodile Dundee moment where he's just like,
he
"I'm the
does,
boss."
and they become friends.
And his face is like, what the fuck? He's just giving it a pat on the side. It's an animal thing.
It's an animal thing.
I will say the
Like-
eye effect looks much better in this film.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think in this movie they may have put it on him instead of them being the contacts, because in the first movie it was contacts, and we talked about that how they
Right.
were nearly
pain in the
impossible to get out, and they had to get an optometrist from 3 miles or 3
Yeah.
hours away because they didn't I guess That's what I was thinking. You might have tested before you got on set, guys. But
Yeah, these
Yeah,
guys
Oh,
it was
and he
like
very
more
much could have been
CG.
like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that shit again."
Yeah,
Right.
they glued
That's-
him
yes.
to his eyes. Hey guys, I got to bounce.
Oh, all right, Blair.
Bye.
All
Well,
right,
thanks
Bye,
for
Blair.
hanging out with us, dude.
Yeah,
You got anything?
this has been a great movie. Take care, guys.
Toodles.
Toodles.
Now it's me. No one wants to see that.
Oh God,
Um,
what is
Oh,
happening?
my eyes.
Hideous.
Oh.
What is
My
that?
Damn
eyes.
I
it.
don't know what that
Mother
is.
dick.
What
The
is it?
beard. The beard that
Mother
isn't
dick.
full.
All right, back to stage. Sorry, everyone. Sorry, everyone's leaving in droves. So we got a bunch of people over on Twitter right now watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. This is we're talking about the Chronicles of Riddick, and we're a good way through it right now. We are at my favorite part, which is
Yeah, feel free
crematoria.
to pop over to YouTube and drop a like for
Right.
those
Yeah.
folks.
And build those
Um,
the watch hours.
Yes, please. But I'm glad to have you any way I can get you. So Kira has now been cornered by the guards, who
And
obviously
she's
have
got a
ill intention.
reputation because they say check her. She always has a blade,
Mm-hmm.
so she's
And
got a
she's-
reputation.
And Johnny's feeling her up here.
Yeah.
Then she's got this cool little boot razor thing and slashes him in the face.
I like
And
the
now they're-
design of
And
that
other
because it's not your
places.
typical like boot razor like that you might
Yeah.
expect. Like it actually like
Right.
folds out from the back as opposed to be like hidden in the sole of the shoe or whatever. It's a good
Mhm.
design.
I think you should leave
So
the little
there-
lady alone.
What are you going to do? Kill us with your coffee cup?
Your soup cup. It's tea,
Oh,
actually.
soup cup, yes.
Yeah,
It's teacup.
Tea.
It's tea, actually. What? I'll kill you with my teacup.
And I enjoy the creative way he goes here
Well-
because he
well-
smashes the cup. So
well,
it-
and-
so the
Well, and then they also say, they're not dead if they're not on the books yet. So he's
Yeah.
because they get paid for the prisoners.
right.
So they lose him, they lose money for him.
Again, those three guys, you see them everywhere.
Right.
Yep. And this
Yeah,
goes by
yeah.
really fast, and suddenly he's on the floor with a teacup in his chest.
And I love that Riddick just like takes the key and lays it down like I'm gonna use this one next.
Next.
And the guys are just like, fuck no.
Because they're thinking like, how could shit. Okay, here is where the line comes in.
Oh yeah. Who's the better killer?
Death by teacup. Damn. Why didn't I think of that? I didn't come here
Yeah.
to play who's the better killer, but it's my favorite game.
Now he just needs to do it with a pencil. A pencil.
yeah.
And yeah, their
That
relationship
pizza-
is a little bit weird, especially knowing the previous movie. But
Right.
Yes.
it's definitely a like he's not like I get the feeling he's like I'm the terrible big brother that needs to stay away from you, but she's kind of like I'm kind of into you. It's a weird kind
Yes.
of setup.
It
Like,
is. It's
Like
Yeah.
he's
peculiar.
protective of her, but he also knows that he's better off away from her. But
Mhm.
she's kind of into him because that she had that young kind of impression that
Mhm.
influenced her for her early life. So yes, it is
Well-
weird, but it does make sense.
And he did save her from a planet of monsters.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Yeah, right.
Now
Yeah.
let's pop the cork.
but she
Yeah,
was.
they're,
she
they're
was
going
into
up to
him
get fresh
before the
air
mountain.
in the brief amount of time that they can here. This was cool.
Right.
So the control room is going up to the surface level.
So they do go up to recycle air.
Yeah, and so this is where Riddick is. He's a quick mind in devious arts. Immediately he's formulating his escape plan right now. And Riddick's like, when it goes, it's going to go fast. Stay with me.
Right.
Yeah, he almost really doesn't even have a plan. He just sees opportunities.
Right. Now this is great.
This-
how
it
how
is.
the crew
This is a-
how the crew is like the crew's like they got like little pieces of a table that's actually a clip, and everyone's like loading up because I think everyone feels some shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
Oh,
And now they see, oh yeah, because they're like, no one followed you. They didn't follow you. Because everybody knows what the necromongers are. And Tomb's like, no, there's no way. And he's like, well, what's this?
what's this? Hey, I know nothing about them. You took a prisoner from them. It's like
So bad juju.
boss. It's bad juju, boss. And here we go. Everyone's loading up.
Yep. Yeah,
They're all gonna die, and they know it.
And this goes really fast too. The infight in the room. Basically, there's a lot of killing. They're sitting there listening to it. And Riddick's like, now. Because now the chaos is hit. He knows his time has come.
This is great. Riddick,
Toombs is trying to get out. You should have taken the money, Toombs.
Should have taken the money, Toombs. Well, then he's like, then they all get up into the control room, and he's like, okay, we're gonna do this. How do you know all that? Because that was my plan.
Yeah, about going to the talking about getting to the hangar, taking the Merc ship, getting out. And then he sees, oh, they're coming. So the clock is ticking here.
Oh Lord, they coming.
So there's their primary way to get where they would have gone is blocked.
Yeah, the rail car is destroyed.
So now they got to go. Oh, this is funny though. I forgot. Yeah, he pops back up.
I should have took the money.
And they put him in the cage with the hellhounds. Yeah, this is it for him. They're taking the money. So Riddick's plan is now we're going to run out on the surface and get to the hangar on the other side. And I forget how it's like what 12 clicks or something. It's a pretty good distance.
Yeah,
and
then
then
basically outrun the sunrise, and he says, "There's only one speed, mine."
And then he says, if you can't keep up, don't step up, or you'll just die.
Mm-hmm.
Which, quite honestly, at this point, their options are either you die in the hole in the ground or you die running, because there's no one running the place anymore. So anything that you were getting from the guards, you're not getting anymore. You know, the gruel. We have a ton of people over on Twitter right now. We have 96 people over there right now. Hello and welcome to the show, folks. Again, talking about Chronicles of Riddick, second film in the Riddick trilogy. I hope they make one more, but I don't actually. I'm not sure if I hope they make it or not.
There is one in
It'd be nice to bring
development.
closure to it, though.
I think that movie's been in development
it
for
seems
like
like it's-
15 years.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. Long time. So they are out on the surface of the planet here, and again, this run is exceptional. So the guards are down below trying to get to the hangar, and Riddick and the prisoners are above trying to get to the hangar. So it's a race to get to the ship to get off the planet before the necromongers show up. So there's a lot going on. Again, the sets themselves here, the lava that's hardened and the lava that isn't, it's freaking beautiful.
Yeah.
And here comes the sun, baby.
Here comes the sun. Do, do, do.
In reality, all of that stuff is like obsidian. They'd be ripped to shreds.
Oh yeah.
That.
You know, I do like the fact that she's both keeping up with him, but like having to run different paths. So it shows that there actually is a difference between them. Like he's jumping over gaps, she's running around. It shows the difference between the two, as opposed to just like, I can do everything you can
Beard,
do.
how dare you? There is no difference.
I know. Cancel me already.
It is being, I've seen. So it is being filmed right now, huh? Because I've seen that Riddick Furia is like sitting there in the under production queue, but I wasn't sure if it was actually being done or not. If it is actually being done,
yeah, I was gonna say,
as long as they set it far enough down the line so that the physical difference in Vin Diesel makes sense.
Yeah.
Or he needs to start working out
physical difference for sure.
So they are going to pop up in the planet surface to take a look and see who's around.
Well, that guy Sasha, the guy that always has a bad feeling, is like, hey, something's going on up there.
Oh, that
and oddly enough,
it looks so
it is right,
gorgeous.
The production design on this is just amazing, and so the movie itself is all done in a studio. I mean, a lot of these effects are probably either matte painting, some of it's digital, but you don't get the feel that there's a ton of the digital stuff going on. Because remember, this is 2004, so I mean, Lord of the Rings has come out at this point, so you did get the big jump in CGI.
I'm sure there's a bunch of miniatures in this that we don't realize are miniatures, but
Yeah.
it all blurs together really well in the best way possible.
Yeah, you don't, like I said, it doesn't take you out of the movie because it's not so jarring. Like, oh, this is obviously a blah blah blah. It just
And
works.
it's a little bit easier because it's such a surreal environment. It's nothing
Yeah.
we like experience on a daily, like.
And now we get the ash.
Yeah,
Just,
the ash
it
down.
looks like snow, but it's ash.
And they're starting to
Basically
take
the
shots at
planet
him.
burning around him.
I love the Riddick standing on top of the thing,
Surprise, motherfuckers.
and he just whacks him right in the noggin.
Yeah.
103 right now, folks. Wow.
Look
That
at
is something.
look
Welcome.
at you go.
Wow.
Well, this is an interesting series. This is an interesting series of films. Again,
is.
Joker, you're the one who suggests this.
I
Hey,
know.
our friend Devin is out there. Hello, Devin. Nice to see you. Off
Howdy.
to crematoria with you then, instead of Canada where it's freezing.
And darn Canada.
So again, the race is on here. I do love the ash coming down like snow. It's just it's if you've ever been in a fire environment, like sometimes we are here in Southern California, this kind of shit actually happened. Back in the 2003 fires, I went outside and it was snowing ash. Our cars were covered with it. It was creepy.
Is that not happening now?
Not
The
down
LA?
here. Up north it is, but down here it's not. So we're lucky down here. LA, it's a wasteland. LA looks like crematorium.
And now they're getting close, and it's starting to get warm. So now this race against time is really getting.
Well, and they're climbing up higher, which means they're no longer below
And-
the shadow of anything else behind them. So they're having to put
And
themselves
again,
at
when-
risk.
What I love here, the look of the rocks it's melted. It's very clearly it's been melted, and it's cool. It's got that just bizarre semi-smooth shape of the molten rock. As opposed to these, this is like, I guess, the dirt areas of the planet that have just been.
You kind of get the
swept.
feeling that there used to be like mountains, but instead of like sand dunes moving with the wind, the rock moves with the sun.
Great.
And this is just beautiful. And now everything is starting to melt. And poor Kira is trapped. And the gentleman prisoner is like, oh, we're just going to leave her. And Riddick's, he's Riddick.
One speed. And
So-
he's like, your rope. Give me your rope.
Yeah, because they have no time here. So he dumps the water all over himself, grabs the rope, swings out.
He's badass.
And
See,
this
this-
is where the guy
This-
watching, it was the other dude.
Apophis peeks out.
Yeah, Apophis, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
He looks a little too long.
Yeah.
Phosphorus.
See, Vin Diesel's character doing this swing by and grabbing her and like to safety is much more believable in this than in the Fast movies, which are grounded in our reality.
Correct.
Well, yeah,
So,
because
like,
he's a
you can-
Furion here,
you
so
you can get away with that in this type of movie, that over the top ridiculousness, like him standing up and doing the badass pose with the steam coming off of him.
Are you watching it on both, Frank? So he's all toasty now, which is awesome. So they are actually almost there. So they get now, but now the necromongers have landed. And I like this scene a lot because Kira wants to like rush ahead and he's like, wait.
Well,
Listen.
then she says, let me
Wait.
guess. Necromon.
Take a
Mongers,
step back.
right?
Just a minute.
Shit. I hate not being the bad guy.
Yeah, I hate not being the bad guys. it's like her goal.
Yes.
And so the little creepy dude, he sees them behind the rock as that's the seer. They're such a badass creation for this movie. There he is again, the purifier. So it's coming. They don't got a lot of time. He's like, wait.
Just wait.
So as soon as the guards open up the garage or the hangar, all hell breaks loose. And this is exactly what he was waiting for. Let them fight it out amongst themselves.
Hey,
Give
Kira.
them time.
Then he says, Kira, you know that
Oh
game?
yeah.
Who's the better killer? Let's play.
Let's play.
And this again is the fight scene
Badass.
extremely well
Just
done.
being a badass.
Yep.
You don't have to think about it too much. You just watch him go, and it's beautiful. And the action is so quick.
Yes, Squeaker, you are.
It's true.
I'm the best killer.
If you notice when they shoot
True.
people with that like disruptor gun or whatever it is, it leaves like a crater in their chest with like multiple like little holes, but it's like grayed out almost like it's made of undead flesh or something where the hole is.
Yeah, because I mean the necromancer tech, as we were talking about, I mean it's a weird business.
Right.
So it may cause some kind of strange necrosis where it hits. Although when it hits Riddick, it just knocks him over.
Oh, it's getting bright out here.
Yeah, so the clock is ticking, and everybody knows it here.
Yeah, like if you go back to that picture of that guy.
Yeah, the hole, which is yeah.
So you look at it. It's got hole, crater, and then it's got little mini craters in it that look like pustules that popped or something.
It's not attractive. Not attractive.
It's a bad day.
No, it doesn't seem like a great way to go.
No.
And again, everything just goes really fast here. And then where does Vaco come in? Because he takes a blow here. And I keep talking about how beautiful these shots are because they are.
They are. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Everybody's trying to move quickly at this point because they all know they are. This guy tried to. And it's too bad. He was, the gentleman prisoner. He was a good character. You didn't get to visit with him very long, but you did get a sense of his honor.
Yeah.
And Vaco cracks him like a twig.
He does a backbreaker. Yep.
Backbreaker and then a suplex.
Yep.
And Riddick got shot with one of those with the necro guns. Now it didn't do to him what it did to the other guys because it was his physiology,
right.
But it did knock him on his ass and he can't get up. And Kira's like, "Get up, Riddick! Come on, Riddick, get up!" And it's
Vago just.
But then things get weird again. So Vaco's about to shoot Riddick in the face, and then we get this strange LSD Riddick's mom popping up again, dressed like, as Sammy pointed out, John Travolta from
Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth, thank you. But hotter. But way hotter. And she gives him kind of the Furion pep talk. This doesn't make a lot of sense in this version. In the other version, you do get more of it. But even in the other version, it's still pretty strange.
She's like,
I am Furiosa. I'm sorry.
I've just come from a 90s rave. I'm here to heal.
Yeah.
So she somehow pops into the reality, though, puts the mark of the Furion on him, and boom. Oh, and here's where he sees Lord Marshal.
She's like, here's some MDMA and a pacifier.
He's like, you have to. It's like basically, essentially, embrace your Furion self, but it's going to hurt. And none of this makes a lot of sense though while you're watching it. It's still, even like I said, even in the extended version, it's confusing because it seems like it's just weird insert into the.
It's kind of shoehorned in.
Yeah, as much as I love this movie, as much fun it is, one of the biggest flaws is it feels like it's setting up a universe that it never has time to explain.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was his mom. Okay, she's Furion, not necessarily his mom. A telepathic connection that was never very clear. It's not. It's. I mean, maybe this is the past touching the future. That could very well be happening as well.
Well, and I like. We don't have to go back to it, but when you see her, it's a whole bunch of like headstones,
Graves,
like gravestones. So it's
so he's about to have an explosive moment. I mean, we've all been there, folks.
As a level up,
and it's like this energy blast that comes from Riddick and knocks everybody out. It's
super
he recognizes this though, which again is weird. It's just confusing.
But this makes a lot more sense.
Oh, okay. What? She activates his Alpha Furion abilities. Okay.
He goes Super Saiyan.
Again, I believe you, but the context is still very unclear in the film. It's just like, you know, something cool happened, but it's just like,
Because
we
in the
need like
regular
I need the notes.
theatrical version of it, they're just all laying there, and you're like,
What the
okay.
hell just
The
happened?
way they cut all the fights, you think, okay, so they were fighting and everybody got knocked down, and they just didn't show some of it. Not that he did all this. I think in the theatrical, they just shoot him and he falls down.
I think
Oh.
it's I think it's a-
Okay, she speaks to him in
Blanco
Butcher Bay.
knocks him out.
Which you know, which is the game, which is a prequel to Pitch Black, even. But there are inconsistencies with Butcher Bay again because of the eye thing. Like I said, it's just they did these movies, but they kind of seem to have forgotten certain things, or they wanted to retcon things as they went along. And it just kind of is what it is.
I mean, most of it works okay because Riddick,
it does. It's
as a
fine.
narrator, is unreliable.
So Kira gets on the Necro ship because she just needs to get the hell out of there.
Right.
While Riddick's out here baking in the sun, our dude, the Purifier, sticks around. And you don't really know why he's doing it. At this point, you don't really understand his motivations at all. He's starting to smoke, and he drags him inside, and he starts taking off all his Necro stuff.
His jewelry.
And he gives his little speech. The necromonger in me tells you that Lord Marshal.
The Lord Marshal asked me to stay to give you a message. Never return to Helium Prime, and the bounty on your head goes away. And then he asked about her, and he said she'll be taken to him. She'll become his, but you'll be free. Now, the necromonger in me, the wish is that you heed the Lord Marshal's words, but the Furion in me prays you don't, because he's basically saying he's not expecting you, and he won't be expecting you, because Vago is going to say that you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this scene, though, made me question the processing that they go through to become the converted, because he obviously fights his programming here to save Riddick, give him the message, and he strips off all of his Necro stuff, or at least most of his Necro stuff. And I found that interesting. I also found it interesting that did the Lord Marshal not realize he had a Furion working for him? I mean, he has a lot of staff members. He can't know everybody, but he's like his lead purifier. He's with the Lord Marshal all the time.
I think he did. I think that's why he sent him specifically. Because he doesn't kill all the Furions. I mean, they basically purified the planet, and anybody who submitted was turned into one of them.
So he's got the mark of the lady too. Again, this is kind of weird and
now
semi out of context. Like, what is that mark?
Okay,
Because that's the mark.
Okay, I took it as once Riddick got unlocked, it unlocked him as well. That's just how I.
Okay. And that would probably help him resist his programming.
Admittedly, as good an explanation as any.
Yes.
But our man just wanders out into the sun here, and he
I have to admit, I was laughing my ass off at this.
It's kind of bright out.
Like, oh my god, dude!
He gets back up
because he gets up again, and then he's
no, that's what made it up. I was like, oh shit, he's getting back up.
Of all the ways to go, I mean, I could have chosen some better ones. I'm just saying.
It's like an old druggy. It's like an old druggy Rocky that's old on stage. Oh, he fell down. Oh, he's getting back up. He's getting back up.
I was thinking more Joe Biden, but hey.
So here we are back on Helium Prime. Vaco is getting a promotion to first commander. He's the of all the commanders, he is now the boss. So he gets an armor upgrade. Looks nice.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah,
This is a day of days, Vaco.
Reminds me of it's like the conquistador's armor a little bit. Kind of cool.
Oh, the decorative, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love I love the darkness of the necromonger world. It's all shades of gray and dark, golds and browns.
Well, and just the constant use of Dutch angles when we're in their realm,
yes,
like their area, just
it's
makes
unnerving.
Feel weird.
Mm-hmm.
No, Frank, that is not happening.
That's negative.
So no, the answer to that, no, we're staying.
I watched that show. It was not that good.
I lasted 10 minutes in episode 1, but let's not divert. We are on a time limit tonight. So she tells him, basically when it happens, it needs to be perfect. You can't miss.
They're talking, and because she's not sure that he's dead, and he's like, "Are you sure? I left him there. Are you sure he's dead?"
Right, because Lord Commander, he
was mostly dead.
He was mostly dead.
Oh,
yeah.
He goes and asks the elemental. I keep wanting to call her an ethereal. The elemental is, and she's like what 40, 60 or something like that.
To calculate the odds that Riddick is dead, that I now can ascend to the Underverse. The odds are good.
That's a great line. Great line. Well, I think she was saying the odds are good that he's going to see the Underverse, but not the way he wants to.
Not the way he thinks, right?
Tell me what I want to know, and I'll save your world for last.
And that's where she's like, "Oh, okay, fuck off."
Yeah.
Now,
I'm amazed. Iman's family's still alive down there, and this is how you know Riddick is back.
Fucking boosh. Have fun, some in the Underverse.
Nice.
That's great.
But this was the Imam's
that's a claw.
I don't even know what the symbol means, but
that's a raptor claw. That's a bioraptor claw.
Yeah,
from the previous movie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I don't know that. Look, guys, I drink a lot, so
get my armada off the ground. He is.
Yeah, so this is where I don't think. I don't know why he decided to go with Vaco and say, "All right, buddy, you're good to go," when he clearly feels that there is a dangerous presence.
It's. He thought it was fine until he talked to the elemental.
Oh,
that's when unnerved him.
Yeah, and he's leaving troops down on the planet because he's like, there are still men down there. He's like, get us off planet now. And everybody's like, whoa, okay, I guess we're leaving. This was great. So someone brushes her, and she finds this, I think, both odd and offensive because no one touches her except for Vaco. And she looks and she sees, and then she sees
the eye.
And then in a flash, he blends in with all the other ones. And she's like, he's here. This is where Vaco is probably making a dookie in his armor.
Yeah.
Well, this didn't last long.
Well,
and again, so these dudes are getting left behind. Imagine you're a necromonger soldier, and it's just like being a soldier in the desert, and you're watching a helicopter fly away where you're on the ground going, the fuck? What? I'm still here.
Okay, but Lady Vago in the previous scene, how Vago is thinking the military, I have to inform the boss because he's in danger. And then she says, you will never see the Underverse then. If he's afraid, he's weak. If he's weak, he's unfit for lordship. So now she twists this into it's now Vago's duty for the faith to kill the Lord Marshal now.
Yep.
Yeah, she is very good
Yeah.
at her plotting and deviousness. So they're watching the big blue ball come out of the. They remember we opened the movie with something similar to this.
Yeah, the
World Killers.
like a singularity bomb, I think.
And little creepy dude sniffing around, and he spots
dog sniff
Riddick,
him out.
and
Fuck.
then they find little creepy dude with a slashed throat, and,
Click,
he's
click.
like, "He's here, he's here. How is he here?"
Did you,
Yeah.
how would
Well-
you know though?
Well,
It's
well, then,
not-
well, see, then now this is also interesting. They unplug from the
Yes,
and they plug it into their machines, and so now it's like on a bigger screen. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. That's something new.
Yeah, they were like, let's see what his last
It's
thing he saw was.
yeah, it's a kind of
Yeah.
an interesting take on the belief back in the day that your eye imprints on the last thing it saw when it
Mhm.
dies, which is a nice
Yeah,
touch.
that's-
considering
that's
being like
interesting.
all about a cult about death and such.
so Vaco's coming up with his lady friend. I like that Riddick is still wearing parts of the armor. That's cool. And he's hiding in with the whatever
Quasi-deads.
dead, the
The
quasi
quasi-deads.
dead. They're like buddies now.
The precogs.
Yeah, the precogs. That's another good movie. And these guys hear some noise, and he's just like, "All right," and he kills both of
right
them
in
at
the
the
face.
same. And then there's this. This is brilliant. So we're rapidly reaching the apex here of the film, where Riddick faces off against the Lord Marshal, and Lord Marshal's like, "No one touch him!"
Clear out.
He's
And of course, he's got Kira, formerly Jack,
Go to him.
and she has been necromongered.
She's
Yeah.
taking
Now
the
again, this
She's got a
this
hickey.
this is another point.
She got a hickey.
So she's got now her eyes have changed too. She's got the dead eyes.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And it's very noticeable with that actress because she has very
Yes.
bright blue eyes.
Yes,
Mhm.
Mhm.
very much so.
Go to him, and Kira, are you with me?
Kira? Are you with me, Kira? Now this scene,
And-
that is just badass. When he throws that, this just the way it's shot, the turn, the throw, the little knife.
It's so fast,
Yeah,
and
the
the
knife
Lord
time.
Marshal like, it's been a long time since I've seen my own blood,
And I love that he's using the knife that he
Took out of the
he
guy's
earned
back.
because you keep what you kill. Yeah.
and he nicks him. Just like Kira nicked Riddick earlier in the movie.
And then you
And
get
this is where we see.
and it's like that's
Whoa.
not fair. Jesus Christ, that's just
Yep,
that's just lame.
he's
That's
got
just
an unnatural ability.
It's the Picard maneuver. He appears in two places at once.
oh, that's
Yeah,
right. That's what
That's
it is.
what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
And the only
I
thing,
learned
and
this one from Picard.
this goes so quick again because Lord Marshal is zipping around beating the crap out of Riddick because he can
Right,
can
and-
basically sense his movements and get out of the way in time.
Hmm.
But the longer the fight goes on, the more Riddick can anticipate.
And this is where Judi Dench is actually concerned at this point. The elemental, she's like, "Oh, this may go poorly." And even his slightest movements have this weird, exaggerated thing, and it's just
Well,
awesome to watch.
Okay, because earlier on in the film, we saw him when he lifts his arms and his arms do that. That's soul taking time.
Yes, and here we go. He's trying to take Riddick's soul.
Fuck you.
Mhm.
And this is fantastic because this is when he does, yeah, he actually knocks him
Yeah.
down here. I forgot. Yes.
Checks him a
And
few
then he
times.
does this crazy move where he just the whole you see every part of him and every part of that movement, which is just fantastic. So he doesn't stab him through here. It must be the armor. But he hangs them up on their little pole of doom. And this is where Vaco is going to make his move too. So there's a lot of things
You're not the
in
one to take
motion
me down.
in this fight.
And then
Oh,
Kira stabs him.
yes. And this is where she's breaking her necromonger programming though. And this is confusing to me as to, okay, so what does the programming do? I don't know.
See, that's where I go back to. I think the programming is just making people wish for death and just like submit out of just pure torture. But she just had enough will to just like, I hate you guys. I'm not going to do it.
Ugh.
And he impales her on one of the big everything in their decorative sense is probably designed to kill you, and it does.
There's no
This is
OSHA
really cool
in
looking,
their
though.
society.
There is no OSHA. It's true. That would have prevented this.
Ugh.
So he did get stabbed. He
Right.
got
That
injured.
also showed Riddick that is as like omnipresent sort of he is. When his focus is one place, he can't see necessarily everything. So that gives Riddick kind of his clue on what to do next.
Right. He kind of learns as he fights him.
Now, kill the beast while he's wounded.
Yeah,
Again,
and he's,
you got him
yeah,
in
he's
the
calling
sweet
on
spot.
Vaco, help me, Vaco. And Vaco's like, I'm sorry.
And we see these two guys that are both trying to kill him. And we got
Forgive
Vaco
me.
here, who's using this big beastly
Flawless.
axe thing, and
Flawless.
Riddick that just uses his mind and his like little dagger to actually do it.
And you see, and I'm wondering, does Vaco see this as well, or is it too fast for Vaco to even
It's
see?
too fast, I think.
I think it's too
So
fast.
he's, he's coming down with the big blade. Lord Marshal's already in his, underverse moves here, and he pops up right in front of Riddick.
Well, yeah,
and he's tight, and he doesn't know what to do here. He's gonna
Right.
because he can't go a different way. He's
Right.
trapped in the motion. It's just
Right.
awesome.
yeah, because he can't remain in that state. So he's already traveling to one place. It's got to go through. So he's like, oh fuck.
Vaco misses, and Riddick jams this into his skull, and it's brilliant. And he
Damn,
snaps
breaks it
the
off.
blade off.
Breaks it off. Yeah.
Yeah, he snaps it off.
Oh,
with a
it's
bristle
so
shank.
good.
And then knees
And
him in the
Lady
face.
Vaco is like, oh,
Ah!
I mean, she was
I've
right.
made
It was
so many bad
flawless,
decisions.
just not the way she planned.
Yeah, because and the
Now, who
element
would
is
have
like
predicted that?
Yep. And then she
Yeah,
just drifts
Judy
off, and that's
Dench is
it.
very happy to see someone get stabbed in the head.
Yes. Are you with
Are
me?
you with me, Kira? And she says, I was always with you.
Boosh.
So it's a little
This-
sad we lose her.
Yeah.
Because remember,
Well-
she's his last tie to
Humanity.
Yeah.
Humanity.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
That was his grounding point, and she's gone now.
Well,
So
then,
he's-
then he just kind of slumps back. His whole
and this
whole
is
bed.
completely unexpected. Remember, their culture, you
Well-
keep what you kill.
Well, and I love the fact that he sits down just as a man that is tired. He is
Right.
done. He has
Yeah.
lost everything. He is defeated. I imagine he doesn't see a way out of this because he's surrounded in the enemy's fortress. And so he's resigned to whatever's happening. He just cannot hold the weight on his shoulders anymore. For the first time, we see Riddick is just like, I can't do this. But he happens to sit in the throne after having killed their king
So
and
he is
claimed
now,
everything.
Yep. No, Boosh, not next week, but maybe not in the not too distant future. And it just backs up, and you keep what you kill.
You keep
That's
what
the
you
last
kill.
line of the movie, and that's it.
Good
That
film.
is the Chronicles of Riddick. And like I said, there are continuity issues more than anything else for me. As far as the movie, if it, just as a standalone entity, it's a lot of fun. And that's that's really all I want. It's a very entertaining film. The look of the movie is just absolutely gorgeous. And the casting is really good. I
It's
mean,
a
even your
fantastic cast.
even your smaller, your bit characters, the gentleman
the,
gentleman convict, the only characters seem out of place and kind of, and I don't it is I mean the Furion lady who may or may not be Riddick's mom. That's that weird shoehorn part in that is for me actually the worst part of the movie because it doesn't make sense in context. You would have actually needed, like a lot more of that for it to make sense. Like I said, maybe she's coming out of the past because, she's got some mystic power that she is, giving to him in the future. It's just a lot of things you're trying to fill in there.
At the beginning, when he talks about there's multiple verses, so there's not just the underverse. There's the verse that everybody's living in, and other things too. So I can completely buy into the fact that she is existing on some maybe higher plane, as like opposite of the underverse that can reach out. So, like I said, this is a great movie. It's flawed mostly in that it seems like it's building more universe and it has time to explain.
So interesting. So with that, Guillermo del Toro, David Cronenberg, Alex Proyas, the Crow, John Landis, and Peter Jackson were all considered to direct this. But I don't think Tui wanted to let his baby go, which makes a lot of sense. I wouldn't have if I'd created this incredible world, flaws and all. I wouldn't want to just hand it over to another director.
Original world.
Praise
original world.
The actor that played Lord Marshal. His armor wasn't. His armor was very imposing, but his performance really was brought it even to more imposing. It was great. He did a really good job.
As crazy as this movie is, everyone understood the assignment. Like everybody was all in. It's very hard to nitpick on it when like it really is that much fun. But
it seems like everybody like really just like bought into their roles. Like nobody feels like they're chewing the scenery going over the top.
Right. Even Judi Dench, who really didn't know what the hell was going on.
She looks out of everyone. She looks
fine with it. She just
but gonna roll with this.
Still good to go. Yeah, she just like, I guess I got this. And she was also just fantastic.
Like,
and I love that she did this. This was a weird part for her. In this type of movie, you've got Judi Dench.
Can you imagine anybody else being that elemental, that kind of elderly, ethereal?
Not pulling it off like that.
No.
I want to say she was like 68 or 69 when she did this role.
Yeah, but I mean, still looks great.
Yeah, and even what the actor who played the Purifier, Linus, what was his
Roche?
Linus Roche. I mean, bro, like I said, he wanted to be Vaco, but that would have been honestly that would have been a terrible choice for Vaco, but because Carl Urban was just
amazing.
As Vaco,
just
because he was so cold.
Right.
One of the things I love about Carl Urban as an actor is he's not just Carl Urban. Carl Urban is a chameleon. He has been so many things. He's Butcher in The Boys now.
Great.
In Lord of the Rings, in Star Trek, he was probably the best part of the new Star Trek movies, where he was awesome. Playing DeForest Kelly, playing Dr. McCoy.
And then Dredd just completely dead.
And then Dredd. Oh God, I can't even forget about Dredd. Was so good.
That role, he was perfect.
So, I think we all agree this was a fun, and like I said, even the flaws, it's fine. You can live with it. So we're gonna close with that. I do want to thank, the many people over on Twitter who are watching. We're at 113 right now.
Nice.
Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Again, if you want to pop over to the YouTube side, drop a like and a comment. That helps the channel out. But I like I said, any way I can get you, I'm very happy you're here. So thank you. And for our YouTube friends as well. I'm looking over here because it's like you're a different audience. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight as well. Always love you guys. So let's do our wrap here with the panel about what we have coming up. And again, to the chat tonight, you guys were so good. You gave us a lot of your insights into the movie, which I always appreciate. Boosh dropped only a couple inappropriate comments, and that was pretty good. Because we do love the inappropriate comments here at Of the Empire. So thank you so much to the chat for hanging out with us tonight, too. You guys were awesome. So let's go around the horn here. What do we got coming up? And then we are going to jet out of here. So my good friend, Shieldwall of Dragons, what do you have coming up, buddy?
Hey, thanks for having me on. It's a great discussion on this movie. Next Tuesday, I'll be on Jacob Ironside show, and we will be doing Rio Grande. It's the third movie of the. Oh no! I'm sorry. We're doing the.
That's next month.
That's next month. I'm sorry. We're doing the next Tuesday. We're doing DS9, the beginning of the Dominion War for Star
Oh,
Trek.
nice. That's actually a great place to pick up DS9.
Yeah, it is. So we'll be doing that. So that was my bad. I was looking at the wrong line. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And then that'll be it. And then whatever we're doing next week here on this channel.
I send out a memo. Joker voice, what do you have coming up, buddy?
Well, aside from next week being here for Riddick to close out the series, next Wednesday, it's Wednesday night is overbooked. Myself, friend of the show, Left Eye, Ego, our other friend and panelist Matt, also Bradley Burnett, the Duke Devil 95, where we talk about professional wrestling. We've had our show's been building. Every metric has been up for the last couple weeks. We've actually exceeded our goals on likes. So Ego in his trip to Mexico City with the wife all bought us something that we're going to wear at the start of next week's show. He bought us all luchador masks.
Oh,
yes.
nice. That's going to be awesome.
So be sure to tune in for that, as we will all look like fools for about the first 5 to 10 minutes for next week. And again, that is Wednesday night is overbooked, 7 p.m. Pacific. And if you don't know anything about pro wrestling, we talk a lot about it. We've got a lot of knowledge about it. You can learn little things all along the way. Ego was kind of a noob when he came in, has been loving the learning of the world of professional wrestling. Just another medium for telling stories.
Right on. Sammy, three-peat, what do you have coming up, my friend?
You know what? I am on a hiatus until Tuesday. I'm going to the playoffs game with my dad, and then it is Mrs. Three-Peat's birthday.
Okay.
Over the weekend. We're gonna do that. But I will be back on Tuesday. I have a show with Leon called Tinfoil Haters. Then I will be back here on Thursday, and then my other show in other news will pick up next week. So,
well, please wish Mrs. Three-Peat a happy birthday from us.
Oh, I will. I got a nice little day planned out for her, and they moved her birthday's on the Sunday, and somehow magnificently the playoff game got on Saturday. So it's just like,
everybody wins. Everybody wins. Cool. Thank you for being here, Sammy.
Absolutely, bud.
Build of Liberty. When not allegedly hunting humans on your compound, what are you doing next week, my friend?
Let's see. Mondays you can usually find me in after the weekend, although we're kind of a little bit on a hiatus right now. R2 is he's still recovering from what he went through, and he's also feeling a little bit under the weather, so he's not doing great at the moment. Plus, we're still trying to figure out exactly what streaming software we're going to use. So kind of, stay tuned for that. We'll pop up whenever we get a chance. Tuesdays with Jacob Ironside. Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, I do gaming. Thursday here, obviously, and in a couple of minutes, after this, I'll be playing 7 Days to Die with Squeak a Mouse.
Right on.
7 Days to Die, sure. Is
playing
that code?
Games with Beard.
Is that code for something?
Heavens to Murgatroyd. Jacob Ironside, get me out of this. What do you have coming up, my friend?
Yes, as Shieldwall said, we'll be going over the DS9 Dominion War, first 2 episodes, and I'll be here next week for Riddick. That's what I got.
Right on, brother. Untamed Mando. Aside from watching a very small dog, what do you have coming up?
I'm trying to think. Mostly at the start of February, I will be starting back up my D&D campaign with several others, the 1001 Masks. So that'll be fun. That'll be February the 8th. Gosh, I don't know where I am anymore or what time is it, but February 8th, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Several of us are going to be rolling those math rocks, and hopefully not all dying. We've got a lot of new people on the cast, so that'll be fun. And yeah, I'll be here Thursday and then up with Jacob on Tuesday. And I'm trying to get a streaming schedule back, you know, for gaming, and we'll see how that goes.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here tonight. Remember, please take a look at everybody's channels. They are in the details for this show. And we will be here next week. Every Thursday we are on at 5 Pacific Standard. Next week we are wrapping up the Riddick trilogy with the movie Riddick, which I really, really, really love. So I'm looking forward to that an awful lot. And Blair to Blair will be back with us again next week for that show. So thank you all again for being with us tonight. This was a tremendous show. I had a really good time. So we'll see you next week for Riddick, and check out everybody on the panel. And until next time, be kind.
Toodles.
You